Now here it goes. It says this broadcast is live.
Right, but you see it's him, right?
Good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in to a brand new episode of the Front Line Blacc News. We were off for a week due to the Landmark Forum, but we're back with a brand new episode. Season 2, episode Trey Deuce, or 32 of the Front Line Blacc News. And I'm your host, Che Nkrumah. I'm joined by my other host, Lady Che. And our West Coast correspondent is also joining us tonight, Shabaka Sankori, out of Los Angeles, California, and from Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Welcome.
Greetings, T. Greetings from LA. And then there's some issues that we're going to discuss out of Los Angeles, that we had mentioned earlier, in regard to the unhoused neighbors and what have you. And also, too, want to emphasize a little bit that was in mainstream news that Nancy Pelosi's husband was assaulted in San Francisco. It appeared that there was some type of break-in or home invasion or what have you up there in San Francisco on Nancy Pelosi, and the assailant allegedly had smashed dude in a dome, for some type of blunt force object.
Yeah, we heard about that on the news. Honestly, I was cracking up when I heard about it.
Well, that just goes to show you, up in San Francisco, how much to the extreme they take it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and it has its history.
They were looking for Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then also too, something that in the news too that I came across about Mike Pence. If he decides to run in 2024, he might seek somebody else other than Trump to be a running mate.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Right. And then, of course, in the state of New York, that he's facing, state charges there, tax evasion, things of that nature right there. And I just find it, kind of ironic, I must say, when we ask for our tangibles or demand our tangibles, which is $100 trillion in tangibles, 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, all the way up to 2100 and beyond. We got to have something for ourselves, and also, too, we got to, control our own factors of production. And we're going to keep emphasizing that. And definitely check out our podcast, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. You can Google our past episodes where I'm the executive producer, Brother Chair and Lady Chair, our co-hosts, coming out of the Mountain State region, and also to the brother Isaiah, who's been with us since day zero, off the East Coast, the brother Kaleem as well, who has called in. Also to shout out there to Jay Dizzle and Black I Stand Radio. Also to Jonathan Bourne Allah, Do the Knowledge Radio and what have you, and to all Blacc Media, where we got to cover the stories for ourselves.
All right, we're live on Facebook. Peace, love, light, and Black empowerment. Thank y'all for tuning in to season 2, episode 32 of the Front Line Blacc News. We're back after a week hiatus. Had to do the Landmark Forum last weekend. It was weekend 2. So we're back with a brand new episode. So we're hearing from our West Coast correspondent right now, Shabaka Sankori. Go ahead, Shabaka.
Oh, yes, sir. And then also too, the situation, with the mayor's race that's coming out here in LA, it's a real hot topic. Barack Obama endorsed Karen Bass for mayor. She's going up against the billionaire Rick Caruso. And then, of course, we've been hearing about the controversy out of Los Angeles and regard to racism and what have you. And that's just the norm out here in the Wild Wild West, Why do you think they call it the Wild Wild West? And then
debate, Shabaka?
Say that again.
Yeah, they already had a debate.
Karen Bass had our debate already.
Yeah, he's talking about Obama endorsing her.
Oh.
Yeah,
she had a debate like 3 weeks ago.
I'm catching up on the West Coast news.
Yeah.
It's like stupid busy. I don't know what's going on this week. I've been engrossed in political drama over here in Denver. So right now, when I'm asking Shabaka, like if Karen Bass had already had her debate, it's because I genuinely feel like the last month has been 1 week.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens when you get old. Time flies, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't wait for nobody, And then the Los Angeles Lakers, they're 0-5, You know,
Yeah, we beat them up pretty bad the other day, I heard.
yeah. But we still love our Raiders out here in the
Right.
West. You
That's
know
right.
what how
Yeah,
they
That's
how
right.
they did the Broncos in the
yeah,
last
That's
game.
right.
that'll be the
I'm gonna
only
trade you
win
if they
y'all
beat
get.
you.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Raiders, you know, hey, Pirates to the end. You know what
You
I'm
know,
saying?
we're
Raider
a
Nation.
Raider hater over
No,
here.
I know. In a
you know
mile
what's
high city, I've been there, and all the bars there says that this
That's
is an
right.
official Raiders haters club and what have you, you know, and then like I said, but I see they got quite a few Raider fans there in
Yeah, they do. Right
Denver,
here.
Colorado.
Right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
she's
see,
not a Raider fan.
I
She's
have.
just
I
from
just
California.
I have a good girlfriend that was just watching the Bronco game. I just act supportive and I get with it. I'm
But
just being
she's
a good
oh
really
yeah.
at
fan.
her heart, she's a Raider
I'm
fan.
from LA. Yeah, goddamn right.
Oh yeah, and then as you know, the San Diego Chargers have moved to Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Catching up on a lot of stuff here in LA since I've been gone. But it's a good thing we're mentioning football about the revenue that is created, you know, by our people in all the major league sports and what have you. We have very, very little control of it and very, very little ownership of it. And then, of course, we know a house divided within cannot stand. And then when you
Still have
look
no.
at these,
Shabaka, I need to finish the intro. So,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
on tonight's show, we will be discussing several things. The first thing is Tangibles 2022. The next thing is the Democrats are hella desperate during this midterm election. They're desperate for our vote. Black family, don't give it to them
Right.
unless they're offering something tangible. Darrell Brooks Jr.,
Oh man.
Lady Chase dude, sentenced to life in prison in Wisconsin.
Man, I got so much to say about that family.
Um, why are the Moors going at the new Blacc Media?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with serial killer in Kansas City, Missouri? White supremacist.
Mm-hmm.
Update on Denver's mayoral elections. Meet the new Denver Police Chief Townhall meeting. LeBron James has cut ties with NFL team the Cowboys. Unhoused neighbor news and unhoused neighbor sweeps.
Mm-hmm.
So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm gonna get us started. This is the year and the decade of tangibles. We are demanding something tangible for our vote. So any politician that is seeking your vote demands something tangible for your vote. Stop just voting
Oh,
just
yes, sir.
stop voting just to appease the white-owned media. Stop voting because they told you you had to go out and vote, and this is the biggest election of our lifetime. The same stuff they tell us every 2 to 4 years. Vote
Right.
if you have an agenda and a cause, and that agenda is the Black agenda. And as Shabaka has
Right.
eloquently stated, I am the only candidate that has publicly stated that I am Black first.
Exactly, and that there, sir, is unprecedented, and the reason why it should be Black first. Now, let's be real. These various cities that elect, you know, their chief executives at the municipal level, at the county level, state level, or even at the federal level, who happen to be Irish or Spanish or what have you, and then when they deal with their situations first, nobody's mad at them, and don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? You know, but for some oddity, when it comes to us as a people, when we are talking about pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps and what have you, you know, we look down upon. And, you know, and his brother Che has stated it, you know, so eloquently, you know, over the months and years that we've been working together here at Frontline Blacc News. Something tangible, Black first, is because how can you help somebody else when your backyard is in shambles? And in my opinion, that's all what Brother Che is saying in regard to that. So I'm quite sure that him or any candidate that's running for office with that, you know, is only common sense that he would take care of his own first.
Right.
You see, because that's what every other group does.
Yep. Facts. So
Yeah,
any politician that's seeking your vote, including myself, demand something tangible for your vote. They're pulling out all the
exactly.
stops right now. Black Family, the Democratic Party, or as we call them, the Democrats, are pulling out
Right.
all the stops. They're sending all the shields to coerce us into voting for the Democratic Party. We're no longer on
Exactly.
that vote blue no matter who nonsense. We're voting for who has our best interests in mind and who's going to deliver us tangibles. And to date, I'm the only candidate that has publicly stated that I will do something tangible for Black people in the city. So, any politician that's seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I'm going to go over Tangibles 2020, give y'all a refresher course on what we're talking about. Because still in 2022, 2 years later, a lot of people don't know what we're talking about when we say tangible. That's something real. That's something substantive. That's something you can count, measure, feel, uh, touch with your own hand, i.e., a check, i.e., reparations. We are owed $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people. Sorry,
Yes,
Facebook,
sir.
I can't see this, but I'm going to read it on StreamYard. The 2020 presidential elections are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are going to reject the. First of all, let me give credit where credit's due. Shout out to Brother Tariq Nasheed, who came
Right.
up with the hashtag Tangibles 2020 back in 2020 when we were debating over Trump or Biden. And a lot of y'all, we still waiting on y'all, you Biden supporters, to call into Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Uh, we're fighting over Biden or Trump and who is going to be the next president of the United States. So, a
Right.
brother named Tariq Nasheed out of Los Angeles, California, came up with the hashtag Tangibles 2020. So, we're going to change 2020 to the 2022 midterm elections. So, the
Right.
2022 midterm elections are coming up. We're like less than 2 weeks away, Black family. And foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented
Right.
by the political system. This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms, lumping foundational Black Americans into groups with minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing
Facts.
tangible benefits for other groups. In this election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits, specifically for us. We do not want trickle down secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups that often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread
Exactly.
the message far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. And since it's 2022, it's Tangibles 2022. We've been running
Exactly.
this hashtag for the past 2 years. We've been spreading it far and wide on social media, and we're not letting up on our tangibles, Black family. So any politician,
Exactly.
including myself, that's seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote.
Oh, absolutely, indeed. And then keep in mind that it only is common sense, for the people to demand something tangible for their votes. For the simple fact is, through the tax dollars that the people, pay on a annual basis at the county level, the state level, the federal level. Oh yeah, demand something tangibles for your vote. There's an old saying in business, quid pro quo. You know what I'm saying? The customer is always right.
Right, quid pro. I give you something, I want something in exchange.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a universal law and principle. They used to call it the barter system. You know what I'm saying?
Barter and trade. Mhm.
Oh, exactly. You see, so therefore, you have the same thing that goes on at the corporate level. You also have the same things that goes on at the what do they call that? At the quasi, what is that, brother Paris? The quasi legal system. In other words, you have these major corporations that do deals, for city contracts, county contracts, and what have you. And you could best believe the same thing is going on. Is because a lot of these suppliers, that the taxpayers spend their money on to make the city, the state, or even the feds for that matter to operate. Hey, they want those government contracts. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather it's, supplying the military, rather if it's supplying the police department or the sanitation workers and whatnot. You see, people want something, in return for their course of actions. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
You see?
I think
What are
too.
your
Like
thoughts, Lady Trey?
I think too. Especially right now. We've seen that there's like a little bus tour going on in the South right now with oh boy, Good Trouble's face on the bus,
Yeah.
and it's a bunch of sisters and shit. I like part of their thing is they're passing out books that have been banned in the South. They have to do with uh slavery, whatever, history, really history, that they wanted to ban certain books, and I'm glad that they're passing them out on this tour, and they're there to delegate or basically gather up black people to vote. But we see where this is. This is a democratic, um, another democratic ploy. We're look, family, doesn't matter. It does not matter right now. Right now, we're supposed to be holding our vote for tangibles. We're holding our vote for reparations. We're holding our vote for something specifically for foundational Black Americans. Okay,
Exactly.
we gave our vote away this last presidential election. We gave our vote away the last midterm election. And what has it gotten us so far? So far, we've been leapfrogged over by the Hispanic community, the Asian community, and the LGBTQ community over the last year. And also, we've been replaced with refugees and any of these other buffer national ethnicities or whatever you want to call it. Um, we've been leapfrogged over. Our word has been they just basically don't care, but they need us right now. And I personally believe you show, the only one right now that has to vote will probably be me and Jesse because Jesse's running for political office. I got and they're doing fear mongering things. I got a letter, and I don't know if it's still up there, babe, or not, but I got a letter from the clerk and reporter. No, it's like a little piece of paper, baby, like a little fold up paper, one sheet. Um, they said it basically displayed how many times I ever voted in my
A
life.
voting report card.
Right? It's called a voter's report card. Right? I didn't ask for this shit to come to my house. Right? I really didn't. The way the wording in it is kind of menacing. It's like, look, we need your vote, demanding, right? You voted in this last election, on the presidential election. I don't remember because we went over this on Frontline Black News, and I had to before I joined this Democratic woman for in political action shit, right? I had to make sure that I wasn't a Democrat. Well, they want you to be a Democrat. I didn't want to give up I didn't want to give up my independence or my
Right.
unaffiliation. So I haven't switched over. And we checked because the thing about our being on Shabaka's show and for like Black News is we're waiting for the Biden people to call. Jesse said I accidentally submitted my ballot to him and asked him to throw it in there. And I did this, family. This is what I did, and I don't know because I don't think I did it. I don't. I find it hard to believe that I voted
In
this last
2020.
in this last election, right? I heard it on the presidential one. I think I was secretly, with everybody on the Biden thing because we were just doing what typically we do as Black people. We just want to rid ourselves of what we feel is useless, so we vote that person out,
That was
right?
fear
We
mongering.
were fear mongering into taking Trump out, so we thought we would vote for Biden. We didn't really know the issues. We're just checking off boxes, sealed the shit, and sent it on its way, not knowing
Right.
it. Now in 2022, family, I've thoroughly gotten invested in the politics because my dude is running for mayor, and part of helping him in his campaign, I got to know what's going on. Plus, that's what we talk about on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, Frontline Black News, and sometimes I'll dig a little deeper in certain political things, or not really political. I would say racist and white supremacist um, actions or atrocities that I like to show them on the revolutionary agenda. But I didn't mean to say but. What I mean to say is I don't remember voting. But this fear mongering report card had to highlight that. You know,
Wow.
it had to highlight that. And I felt like just because you sent me this piece of shit, piece of mail, I don't want to vote anyway now. Until Jesse said, "Oh my god, my head hurts." Until Jesse said, I might have to because he's running for political office, and it'll look bad if I don't vote. That's another fear mongering tactic. Even though he's not doing it, he's saying how they will look at it as if I didn't want,
Right.
to vote. Because I thoroughly believe, how can I tell you to hold your vote like you hold your Swilla or you hold your baby close to your heart if I have to do it, right? So I felt like, not only do we have to educate, we not only have to educate the people where we live, right? Denver and Aurora ballots, we got to get the people to know what's going on, right? But we also need to educate our people on why we should not be voting. We're supposed to be watching these two fucking systems implode on themselves. They're supposed to be begging us and offering us a reasonable, tangible, a reasonable, tangible thing for our vote. Our vote is for sale.
Right.
We're not supposed to give our vote away. And I would put it to you like this: would you just let anybody touch your Swilla? No. Would you let anybody, walk off with and do anything with with something you should hold close to your body? No. So treat that as your vote. You know what I mean? You just wouldn't give it away. You wouldn't let nobody take it from you, and you wouldn't let nobody have it, right? So treat your vote like that. Treat it like it's something fucking valuable. And look, keep in mind, Black family, they brought in refugees to basically replace our vote. So what the fuck do they
Pretty
use?
much.
Yep.
We got
Pretty much.
Afghanistanians here. We got Russians and Ukrainians here now. This is now a sanctuary. We are in a sanctuary city, so we got Hispanics here now,
It's
and
been
they're
a yeah.
pushing us out.
It's been a sanctuary city since.
Yeah, but they're pushing us out. Every city you go to, you'll see Black people are being pushed out.
Hey, Los Angeles is a classic example, and to support your premise even more so, Lady Che, is that the majority of the homeless that I see here in the city of Los Angeles are Black men. Very, very high proportion of Black men. You see that I see homeless here in the city of LA. Then, of course, with this pandemic, scamdemic, COVID bullshit, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that they are systemic. Well, it ain't like kind of like what the fuck they are doing. Just like with the Tuskegee experiment. They want the Black male either dead, hospitalized, criminalized, effeminized. You see. Yeah, but they don't never, want to see the Black male doing anything powerful. Now they will set up guys like Herschel Walker and what's the clown who just became Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City a while back. Just like you had with Uncle Tom Bradley in Los Angeles that I remember and what have you. Oh, well, for us to get ahead, we got to be all inclusive. Okay, now we tried that bullshit going on over 60 years. Okay, if you keep banging your head against the wall for 60 years, and it systemically keeps getting worse and worse and worse, then you are insane.
That's
Right.
my point.
That is
And
exactly
not
You should feel like
not only
my point. Like I've been saying that. Like
Jesse
that's
should feel like this
insanity.
too. And look at Eric Adams, right? Eric Adams. Let's look at Eric Adams, and a lot of the male black mayors that are in the cities right now that are running things, right? You see they're fucking up everywhere. So when you got a
right,
young man trying to grow into learning and being productive, as far as a candidate, right? Everybody's looking at the fuck ups that other people have done, and they're basically gonna hold that shadow over Jesse, like, oh well, we don't have another black mayor. Look at us, such and such. Look at Hancock, right, for example, right? And that's how neither the two people are alike, but just because he's black and he's a man and he has like maybe some similar life fucking circumstance, they're gonna hold the atrocities that one man does onto another man who has never committed those type of sins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yes, ma'am. You are absolutely correct in your assessment. Is because as I've, well, not so much myself, but as a famous person from our history had said shortly before his demise on a public television show. And I'm not going to say the name of the show and I'm not going to say the name of the person, but when I make the statement, you will piece it together. He had stated that anytime that you take away the slave image of the black male, you're going to scare white America.
Yep.
And I'm just paraphrasing him, not the exact quote. And such individuals, they don't want you to know about. They distort the image. He did have a lot of controversy in his life. But hell, look at your damn presidents like old Tricky.
Yeah.
Ask John Dean about that. You know what I'm saying? And then let's look at this mainstream media, like how you have this Cartoon News Network, or you got Fox News with its bullshit. You got assholes like Tucker Carlson, you know what I mean? Jesse Peterson, and then Geraldo Rivera, he's starting to go along with that bullshit. And I remember when Geraldo Rivera got his ass whooped on TV. Now, Geraldo Rivera, he's been, now Geraldo Rivera, he's been through the trenches, and his old ass is damn near 80 years old, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I remember on when they had the Geraldo show is where melee had took place, and I mean he got smashed. You know,
I remember.
Right? It's because, and the reason why I'm saying this is, and I appreciate Brother Paris saying something strictly for us, is because what had led to that incident with Geraldo is that Roy Ennis, who was the chairman of CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality, had got into a dispute with this young white nerd who referred to him as an Uncle Tom. And the white fella, was kind of stating facts is, hey, why must this be this Uncle Tom foolery with this? And this dude is a classic Uncle Tom. Now Rivera, he instigated this shit. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I mean by this sensationalist ass journalism. Now, Geraldo got smashed in the face with a chair on his own show. Turned into a melee, and I mean these blows was for real. Then there was another dude who used to come up with sensationalized bullshit by the name of Jerry Springer, about cheating individuals and what have you. Maury Povich. Well, the lie detector determined that is a lie. Okay, now let's turn. Okay, now let's turn back history a little bit, folks. And I know this is a younger generation, but I'll never forget of a guy who was the prayers, the 30 seventh president, if I got my presidents right. You know that dude, who was a congressman from Whittier, California, and I know Lady Che, you familiar with Whittier, California. This dude was in the 40s.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he was on a committee during the Red Scare, okay, by Joe McCarthy.
Yeah.
All right. Then he became the vice president in 1952 up under Eisenhower. All right. Okay. So he got reelected as the vice president. Okay. And then he ran for president in 1960, and he lost to a guy by the name of JFK.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, after uh, the situation, with JFK being assassinated in Dallas, then you had old LBJ. Okay. I believe who made the statement that if you convince the poor raggedy ass white man that he is better than a nigga, then his ass will vote Democrat for the end till his days. And he was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But Shabaka, we gotta finish out this first topic. So uh
Yes, sir.
anything else on tangibles 2022?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Tangibles, the 2100 on everything is because we built this damn country with the sweat and labor of us. All of our ideas were stolen. Our labor was stolen. Our innovation was stolen. Yeah, so Mr. Tariq Nasheed, was absolutely correct. Tangibles, $100 trillion. Land, labor, risk management. You see what I mean? Also, too, emphasizing black businesses. Now, the thing, too, that I'm seeing out in Los Angeles with that is that you have a lot of black women businesses coming on with the women. Okay, over there in the Leimert Park district that I saw on the mainstream media, wish them more power to what they're doing. And I believe they were having cakes and pastries that were homemade. Also, to a shout out there to the sister and her family out there in Compton, who owns the first black-owned, what is that, grocery outlet, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a, okay, so therefore that source of food, also to a source of jobs. You see what I mean? But we need to start doing our own friggin' franchises as well too to build a black entrepreneurship. And quite naturally, of course, as we put our people to work first, one of the tangibles that we need, allowing us to our self determination.
Yes, period. Okay, so
Period. Yes, sir.
all right, so that's tangibles 2022. Move us to our next topic, and that is the Democrats are desperate, black family. They're desperate for our votes. They're
Oh,
pulling up
absolutely.
stops. They did another Get Your Booty to the Polls video. We covered that on Frontline Black News a few weeks back. No
Right.
voting, no voting, or no voting, no vocking. That's Get Your Booty to the Polls Part 2.
That
So,
was a sleazy ass video.
Okay, now once again, proving our point on our platforms again. You're gonna have our women get up there and degrade ourselves for this bullshit.
That and it had
and it
some
had
weird
a
ass
man that
well,
was dressed like a chick
yeah,
on there.
as a
Oh man, oh
I put up a
god.
video that we like to see real women, okay? Like I put up a video yesterday on my timeline on the Facebook thing, and it was
Right,
like four really beautiful dark sisters that were dancing for Carnival in Miami, right? Now it's Miami Carnival, so they're gonna be dressed as for Carnival, right? And they were dancing and everything. Beautiful sisters, right? And I was like, look, these are actual beautiful black women, no men in dresses. You know what I mean? Because even we as women, do not want to see men tucking and taping and shit trying to dance in the carnival. Carnival is usually like them they're really these women got things barely covered. You know what I mean? They got feathers. They got all kinds of. They were really beautiful women, and they're up there, dressed like if they're gonna be in the Miami Carnival or Mardi Gras or whatever, something like that. Like
Right.
they're dressed for that. And before you would have gentlemen or men that identify now as women trying to march in these parades like that, and we can tell that that's not a woman. We could tell, women can tell that when we approach something that is not of divine feminine energy. And I'm a woman. I don't have no animosity towards other women. I like seeing beautiful pieces of art. Women, that I like to see women like women. And so I had to highlight that. I was like, look at this for the brothers. These are all natural women. They're dressed they're doing carnival. They're beautiful, and then their natural bodies, and there's no men trying to trick other men to believe they're different.
Right.
I had to highlight that. So yeah, go ahead,
Oh, absolutely. Well, see, that's the agenda, that they pushing. And then, of course, we do know when it comes to election times, particularly here in the midterms, that California, pretty much sets a trend. With all this bullshit that you got going on, it always boils down to California. Yes, and it's because it has the most electoral votes in the presidential elections, as we all know. But also, too, you got these two cesspools in the state of California called Los Angeles and San Francisco, and one that they call the Barbary Coast, as in barbarian. And that there's where Nancy Pelosi's husband got smashed, recently, and they said he's expected to make a recovery, home invasion or whatever. But however it is, what it is, and these individuals, running these political machines. I mean, hey, they
man.
got to be
That's
held accountable.
real quick while we wait for Jesse to pull up whatever he's doing. Um, that's a good point. When we talk about the political candidates even running for office, me and like I said, when I speak about Jeff Farden and some of his crap that he does, that puts our lives
Right,
in danger. They don't understand that some of the rhetoric that they do galvanizes these white folks to come sweat us or harass us because they don't like the movement we're on. And that's with just any candidate. Any candidate can
right,
have a marginal group of haters that will literally go out of their way to stalk their the person they don't like, the family of the person they don't like. And then I was also told too once doing a political boot camp when I tried early before Jesse had filed to learn about politics to help him with his campaign. I joined the
right,
CWPA thing. They had a political boot camp, and the lady said clearly the Democrats pull very shisty moves to eliminate candidates. Like they could be out running around taking pictures of people and their candidate people doing either whatever they could be doing. And
right,
me over here, I've already had that incident happen where someone was trying to peek in my house and take pictures in my house while I'm sitting there. It's weird. Or follow me around the neighborhood, yelling obscenities like this will never be a black Denver. Shit like that. And it's like
Mm.
you don't understand that when you got people like Mr. Fard or whatever who doesn't agree or he wants to agree or anybody who hates on the when white people were trolling Jesse for like that whole month and galvanizing
right,
people against him, that put us in a lot of physical danger. So that shit with Nancy Pelosi's husband, like, look, the motherfuckers came there to look for her. They've been looking for her for a minute. That's why she got a security detail. But the
right,
husband, he's like 80 something years old. What did he do wrong? But really, we should chastise the police too because they watched that man get beat and they
They
let that
watched the
man.
whole
They
thing.
watched the whole thing. You know what I mean? And then they want to act like they were there. They were there, but they didn't stop nothing.
That's because they don't protect and
They
serve
don't
you.
protect. They didn't protect that man, and he's a white.
okay. Okay, can I ask this question?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think of a police agency like the San Francisco Police Department, who's going to put 25 bullets into a man? You know what I'm saying? Who is only 147 pounds and 5 feet 7 at best.
I think they're absolute shit, and they cherry pick who they want to shoot and who they don't want to shoot. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They're cherry picking. One minute they'll
right,
shoot anybody else of us like us down in the motherfucking street on any given day. But when it comes to this ritzy ass dude or this old ass man getting beat with a hammer, they sat there and watched him do it. And then let him get around the house before they got him. You know what I mean? He moved around, he got out of the room, you know? So they could have
right,
intervened, they could have tased. What happened to them shooting off pistols in the house?
He was white.
You know what I mean?
You already know the answer to
Yeah,
that.
so it's a cherry pick, and that's the problem
right,
going on with these motherfucking law officers. They're cherry picking when they feel like
right.
they're in danger, when they feel like someone's a threat, and who gets protection and who doesn't. And that's
Well, the thing is that you have to understand is, just like when we were at the Taste of Soul last weekend, high police presence out there, the Los Angeles Police Department.
Mhm.
And actually it was very quite peaceful. You see what I mean? And from what I understand is that the Taste of Soul that goes on is quite peaceful. People going out there, meeting and greeting. The entertainers performing like Lakeside and Atlantic Star, you
Yeah,
see, and
we get
whatnot. And I was a little bit buzzed, you know what I'm saying? And I
yeah.
think I
Well, you are
said,
not the only one.
yeah, and that's what I told you, Brother Paris. On Shabaka's Black Experience, I like page on Facebook. I said, people out here on tilt,
Mhm.
and and it was nice, you know what I mean. And then you had a lot of videographers out there as well too, and I tried to get us up out of there, but as well, but. You know how they do us at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhancing. So this is why we appreciate Lady Che of making a digital flyer for us. And you could definitely check out the like page. You could definitely follow us at Twitter at Shabaka EXP. Definitely follow Brother Paris on Twitter, particularly of those of you in the city limits of Denver, to check it out. Now,
Yeah. So, Shabaka,
to,
I gotta move us to our next topic. So,
yes, sir.
Democrats are desperate. This article shows this how desperate they are. Says this is from the AP News, Associated Press, or
Right,
as or as Professor Black Truth calls the Aryan Press. Um,
right.
Barnes Senate bid may ride on Milwaukee's black turnout. So
Oh, okay.
if you search Google, you'll find a whole bunch of articles about how the black voter turnout needs to be really high for the Democrats to keep the House and the Senate.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna read this whole article. I just want to show y'all that. And then they're pulling out all the stops by bringing Obama out, Osambo
Right.
making his rounds in various
Right.
states, trying to galvanize the black vote. I might play
yeah,
this video.
play that.
It's really low. Can you hear it, Shabaka? No, I need to turn this up.
It's on low.
Okay, let me start going. It said, I'm here to ask you to vote. Vote for what? Oh, Sambo. There's no closed caption on this one.
Mm.
So basically, all the Democrats that are running in Michigan, he wants them for.
And I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like, Black family, what are you doing out there? This is my thought. Like, Black family, what are you doing out there? You're being on camera. Get out of there.
Who was attacked, 82 years old, was attacked when somebody broke into his home looking for his wife, Nancy. And thankfully, doctors believe he's going to be okay, but we'll let the investigators do their jobs. But here's one thing that we can feel, we know. If our rhetoric about each other gets that mean, when we don't just disagree with people, but we start demonizing them, making wild, crazy allegations about them.
Wow, they're crazy.
That creates a dangerous climate. And if elected officials don't do more to explicitly reject that kind of rhetoric, if they tacitly support it or encourage their supporters to stand outside voting places armed with guns and dressed in tactical gear, more people can get hurt.
Oh, man, can I say something, Jesse?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got like 3 things real quick. I'll be real quick. Hey, Black family, what are you doing in the video? You're not supposed to be over there. How are you going to still get excited over Obama?
Right.
For real, Black family, like, what's wrong with you? You're not supposed to be at Obama rallies. You're supposed to be not, or you're supposed to be holding your vote. You're not supposed to be excited about Obama.
This is the Michigan Democrats, though.
Like, what's wrong?
Right.
Like, am I the only one tripping? Am I the only one tripping? Like, what are you doing over there, Black family? You're supposed to be holding your vote, goddammit. You're not supposed to be over there at Obama rallies. And you're sure as hell not supposed to be on camera cheesing like he's still the president. He's not the president no more.
See how old these people are?
Look at how excited they are. Look at everybody saying, it's President Obama. That's not your president. He wasn't our president, remember? We got excited. We saw Oprah cry. Okay, he was our president that day. And maybe for the first little while. But after that, let's keep it 100. That wasn't our president. He wasn't our president.
No, he wasn't. It's because with him being the president, he could have signed a series of executive orders into the police killings of during his term, such as Alan Bluford, such as Mario Woods. You see what I mean?
Oscar Grant.
I'm looking at
Yeah, exactly. You see?
After video, Black family, what are you doing in the poll lines? What are you doing in the poll lines? What are you doing at the rallies? What are you doing? What is all this year of tangible work doing? And you just threw it all away to go sit in the motherfucking Obama rally and to get up in these poll lines where it's hot and you know that you're going to probably get arrested for some voter fraud shit because I showed that clearly, not once, but 3 times on the RVA. Black family, what are you doing? You just threw a whole year worth of fucking hard work away and been standing up in the motherfucking polls because you must vote.
These are older Black people.
It don't matter. The message goes out to everybody.
The point is, these are older Black people. These are not the youth. These are
exactly
baby
what are
boomers,
we doing this for?
Gen Xers, and maybe silent generation.
Man, them people are like easily 50 years old.
Yeah, they're Gen Xers.
Okay, I'm a Gen Xer.
You're a baby Gen Xer, though. These are OG Gen Xers and baby boomers.
Okay, but still, why are we doing this if they're going to be up in the
Because these people are old. They're set in their ways.
That person is not old, man.
Those people in that video were old.
You trying to say those people are your mama's age?
They're older than my mama. These people
are like my age.
They're like Shabaka's age or older.
Shabaka's with it. How come nobody else is with it?
Shabaka is not like most people in his generation.
Exactly. It's because the thing is, as you had pointed out there too, Brother Che, about demand something for your vote. You say, don't be going out here to vote just for the sake of voting. Okay, it's for the simple fact is, yes, I appreciate the sacrifice that Dr. King and them made, with the Voting Rights Act and things of that nature there. Now, because you had the Civil Rights Act in 1964, then LBJ, reluctantly passed the Voting Rights Act, but I find it very, very interesting about this Voting Rights Act. What is that, Brother Che, that it has to be reviewed every 20 years, I believe, or some bullshit like that?
Yeah, something like that every 20, 30 years.
Right. You see, so already right there, they're fucking you without the benefit of intercourse. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is and also too, let me say, since we're on the subject here, Brother Che, and I hope this is within the narrative and the points, on the itinerary, is on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on our last episode, okay, where Brother Che had was hosting the show, and I came in later on the show. We had our man there, old Mr. Pianki, with his stuff. And I want to apologize to Mr. Pianki, for having him put off the air, is because I listened to the playback of the episode. Mr. Pianki, he did not violate, our narrative. And actually, he was dropping a lot of great knowledge that Mr. Pianki was doing. But however, the past. I'm sorry.
We just had a troll. He talking about you need to calm down. I guess he was talking about you. I just blocked him.
Oh shit! Make me calm down.
Okay. Well, let the troll. This is just my suggestion.
What we do here is for the benefit of our people. You don't like it, tune the fuck out. I don't care. I'm not gonna calm down. We just spent a whole year and a half of work trying to get these people to understand how important their vote is and what we're not getting from these politicians. So if you don't like it, that's not my problem. That sounds like a you problem, and you take that shit somewhere else. I don't really care. We could get out. You know the link is right there, right? Hit that link, and you can talk about it in person. Other than that, you're just a troll and you're bothering us. So we're not going to stop with our message, sir, or woman, or whoever did that. We're not going to stop with our message. It is that important that our people need to know about holding their vote for something tangible, realistic, and that is right now. Don't you think this benign neglect needed to end? Whoever the fuck that was, I didn't see it, and you're lucky I didn't. But now I'm addressing you. So if you want to hit the link and talk your shit, go ahead and talk your shit, and you play with the right one. Because we spent a whole year, maybe 2 years, not to mention all the other people that came before us, sending a message, not asking, but holding your most powerful vote for something that is actually tangible for you and your family and your people. Okay? And if you're not with it, get online and say you're not with it. Other than that, stop leaving comments. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, and the chat room is open here too, that I'm saying here on StreamYard. So definitely, leave it in the chat room as well. Join in the show if you can, you know what I'm saying, and what have you. But as Lady Che, that she is right, is that if voting is so sacred, okay, and being an old bastard, I'm, thinking back 40 years and what have you, because I had made every election from the time that I was 18 to the time that I was 40. And what really disenfranchised me is when all the mainstream media is going to report in 2000, well, Al Gore, he's the next president of the United States, coming right in after Slick Willie, who endorsed and proposed that Hyde Biden sign your federal crime bill. You see what I mean? That led to massive incarceration. So think of that as well too. I was done with it.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I had voted in every election, municipal level, the state level, of course, the federal level and what have you. But however, they're using draconian tactics now. They're going back, to a fervor and what have you, you see. And we're in some controversial times here in 2022. You see what I'm saying? This shit is nothing nice, you see. So therefore, for those of you who look at these past episodes and here at Front Line Blacc News, on the revolutionary agenda, here on StreamYard and what have you, on social media, on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Hey, we telling you the real of what the fuck is going on here in these contemporary times that we're in. So if they allow you to keep the videos and stuff like that intact, and if they don't fuck with the algorithms and all of that, you see what I'm saying? You might learn something. You see? And then also too, the ragged ass institution of Hollywood. Yeah, I'm here in Los Angeles. It's depressing, the mindset and the imagery that they project of us as black men. And I saw something where they were talking about Eric Monty talking about Norman Lear. And Eric Monty, he was the creator and a writer of a movie called Coolie High, and his ideas were stolen for Good Times when they had the Good Times series on in the 70s, where the Evans family is up there in the, let me see, what was that? In the housing projects, you see what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then, yeah, the Robert Taylor homes, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. You see, yeah, over there on the south side of Chicago. And then another thing in regard to our tangibles, they didn't have the proper educational system set up for our children. You see what I'm saying? And get them out of these fucking public indoctrination centers.
That's
It's
right.
because it's all
Yep.
bullshit. You're teaching lies. And then also, too, I want to say to Governor DeSantis of Florida, hey, man, fuck you and fuck your state of Florida with that shit about that you passed, that if we talking about historical truths, that a certain group of people are going to feel uncomfortable. Motherfucker, we've been uncomfortable for the last 400 years.
Right.
That's right. Jesse.
Yeah. So we'll move us to our next topic.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right, Chewbacca. They're closing schools down over here too. Like we got one in Denver right
They're
now. They're
closing
talking about 10 schools.
10.
Yeah, 10, something
They're
like that.
closing 10
Wow.
schools down
In one
DPS.
city.
And,
Low enrollment.
and right next door in Jefferson County, they're closing down 16 schools.
It's like, God, man, where the kids go? Like, this is
Right.
a conspiracy. I think. I mean, I don't know if it's a conspiracy. It feels like
These gentrifiers are putting their
it's
kids in private
it's
schools.
definitely something.
That's exactly what's happening. Is because see, that's what's happening up in Pasadena, California. I believe that they was trying to do something with the schools up there to make it more flexible for those with money. In that part right there is because Pasadena, California, it gets its wealth from that Tournament of Roses parade and the Rose Bowl that we all know of. Okay, so they had wanted to put more of funding, I believe, into the private schools as to the public school system.
Okay.
See, so once again, they taking the concept of the public indoctrination centers, teaching our children to hate themselves and go out and to become self-destructive in the youth, particularly our black males. You see, they don't want to show the image of a strong black male no more.
No, they don't.
And as we stated at the beginning, of this StreamYard, that any time that there was an individual out of our history who made a statement publicly that at any time that you take away the slave image of the black male, you're gonna scare white people.
Yep. Yep. That's what he said.
All right, what's
But
the next?
And then keep in mind what I would call that would be paranoia, if anything. I mean, the black male was trying to upgrade his image. He was trying to put businesses and organizations there to help the community. How come the black man cannot be the protector of his family, and how come he cannot go out here and earn a decent living so he does not have to go out here doing all these hustles, with illicit activities and what have you.
That's what I
You
want to
say?
do with sister sister T Wahida. I want to do a show with her about that. A build about the black man in particular. Why there's so much oppression, right, towards him, and so much derogatory things. I'm trying to see I'm trying to get it together with her and Sister B so we can do an RVA on it because it's really important, and we'll probably do it in conjunction with Shabaka Show. Really important, man. You guys are like the already damn near fucking extinct with all this buck breaking, and now forced fucking feminization and homosexuality. It's basically being forced on you. And you have to be strong enough to resist all of those.
All that, Lady Che. And then I said it before that when we make such comments as men, they want to say, well, you guys are homophobic. And the rebuttal and reply to that is, well, you individuals are heterophobic.
Yeah, they refer to us like, well, they've made statements that Jesse and myself are using words or forms of bigotry. And I don't think it's that really. I think what it is that there's a misunderstanding. The understanding is that I grew up in a time and age where this kind of agenda was not pushed down my throat. And that me and him being heterosexual would be acceptable to the other party, and they would just know to leave well enough alone, like we would know to leave well enough alone. You live your life,
Right.
let's be friends, whatever. You know what I mean? We don't have to not like this. But the moment the agenda became a clear and present danger and started leapfrogging over the black agenda and
Right.
precedence over the black needs, and everything started to be oppressive to them, and became a $3 trillion, $4 trillion industry and business versus our actual agenda, our actual problems, then it became a real situation. And then they want to say that, oh well, you're spreading hate. No, we're not even saying that at all. We're saying is we don't like the agenda. It's an agenda. It's a business agenda. That's what we don't like. Not the fact that you are who you are and you want to live whatever truths you want to live. Hey man, that's your truth. That's not necessarily in alignment with um our message of keeping the black nuclear family together, husband, wife, children, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's just how we believe. You believe this, we believe that. Why do we have to not why do we have to have discord?
Because
But
they're
you see what I'm
putting
saying?
their gender and their sexuality
They
before
put
their
that
race.
put the agenda and sexuality over race. And case in point, with Mr. Paris, right? We were in the chat, obviously, as far as I get, right? And I've really been trying to reach out to this one particular um person who has a what do you call it, he
He's
could
a
run
consultant.
consulting company. Now, the man is black. The man is obviously what, gay? Was the gay?
Very much.
Okay, we'll say he's gay. Okay, I don't care about that. All I care about is the work, right? But because because Jesse said something, or we made reference to uh how to say alphabet people, or me, I was like, shit, it's every acronym and happy face emoji, tut tut tut, elbow elbow elbow. Shit, I don't even hold back on that, because it is. It's like 50 fucking acronyms. Okay? That's not what, I'm the Generation X. I grew up with, you're either gay, lesbian, or bisexual, or straight. That's four things. Clearly black, white. Okay, it's not, there's no gray in between. You're not fucking, you clearly know what you are. We know, we don't have to see it. Everybody knows you're gay, cool, we got it, cool. Right? But they're saying that because we brought light to we brought light to all of that, that we're on some bigot shit. And that's not true. It's just a clear misunderstanding, but they don't want to understand that part. Just like we want to understand why you have to have so many fucking acronyms and why you got to leapfrog over the actual agenda. You know what I mean? Why you got to do that? You know what I mean? Like, why? It's an obvious issue. And then he said he didn't want to work with us specifically because Jesse referred to individuals that identify as whatever sexuality or whatever as that. That's the main reason. So he put his sexuality over being black first. And
Yeah,
that's
which is common with.
Right, which is common, and then they keep dogging the fact that, hey, Trump can have an all-white cabinet, or not even Trump. Anybody can have an all-white cabinet,
Okay, Lady Che, may I interrupt on one factor that they are not mentioning about Trump?
No,
You
because we're
remember, you
talking
remember
about.
Omarosa?
Yeah, but Shabaka, we got to stay on schedule. Like,
All right,
we've
go
been
ahead.
talking about this for like longer than we were supposed to.
Oh, okay, moving right along.
I need to get to our next topic, and that is Wisconsin man found guilty of killing 6 people after plowing SUV into Christmas parade. It's from NBC News. Darrell Brooks Jr. was charged with dozens of crimes in the Waukesha tragedy, including 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 61 counts of reckless endangerment. No, this is the video. I don't know what this video is. Sorry, people on Facebook, y'all can't see this.
Very special.
And I'm going to get emotional.
When Laura Caruso.
Yeah, that's something else. She's like, this is something else.
A WestJet.
Yeah, I don't know what that video is. A Wisconsin man was convicted of killing 6 people after he plowed his SUV through a Christmas parade, ending an erratic weeks-long trial during which he shouted at the judge, stripped off his shirt, and was often removed from the courtroom over outbursts. The Waukesha County jury on Wednesday found Darrell Brooks Jr. guilty of all 76 counts, which included 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 61 counts of reckless endangerment. As the verdict was read, Brooks held his head down and remained silent. One man was removed from the gallery after he yelled, "Burn in hell, you pieces." There's Darrell Brooks Jr. Brooks looks at the attorneys. I have a whole video I want to play on this, but I'll play this one real quick.
The subject matter jurisdiction has yet to be proven on the record.
Today. Tonight, the prosecution resting its case in the trial for the man accused of intentionally driving an SUV through a Christmas parade in Wisconsin last year, killing 6 people and injuring dozens more. Darrell Brooks Jr., who is facing more than 70 criminal charges, is representing himself in the case after firing his attorney 2 weeks ago. Now, he's getting a chance to call his own witnesses.
But it's
Stop
not accurate.
talking.
This after a rocky and sometimes contentious trial with Brooks' constant outbursts and disruptions.
Can you explain that?
Objection leading, objection leading, objection leading.
Prosecutors say these are deliberate acts and not a question of mental health. The judge showing her frustration.
I don't like your tone and the way you're talking to me. I don't.
Mr.
I don't
Brooks?
appreciate it.
Sit down. I don't care if you don't like my
I'm not
tone.
gonna-
You've
I'm
been
not gonna
pushing
sit
my
down.
buttons all day.
Brooks initially pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease, but withdrew that plea in September and persuaded the judge later that month to let him represent himself.
This incident was not planned. This incident was not intentional.
The trial beginning with Brooks repeatedly interrupting, saying he didn't recognize the state of Wisconsin or the judge before being kicked out of the courtroom Tuesday.
Mr. Brooks is being removed from the courtroom.
Brooks objected throughout witness Juan Marquez's testimony.
Which leg was that, sir?
Objection, action, answered.
Overruled.
The most bizarre incident coming when Brooks was removed from the courtroom after being told by the judge to change into his suit.
Are you willing to go back to your cell and put on your suit?
It is my right to do so or to not do so.
And sent to an adjacent room where he removed his shirt.
I'm also told that he is threatening to throw and break items.
Witnesses that we spoke with at the parade that day will never forget the carnage.
You're seeing people get hit.
Oh, yeah. 3 at least. And
And you have your daughter there.
I mean, my first reaction was to grab her.
Brooks faces 77 charges, including 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 61 counts of reckless endangerment. Each homicide charge carries a mandatory life sentence. His mother speaking with our affiliate WTMJ, though not showing her face. She says she's received death threats.
What has led to
Darrell's behavior. His mental illness, not being medicated.
She says she's worried he's made the wrong choice to defend himself in court and isn't watching the trial.
Despite the chaos Brooks has created, he still will likely be found guilty because the evidence is overwhelming. But it's on appeal that both the judge and the prosecutors should be concerned, not because they've done anything wrong, but just because that much chaos is going to be scrutinized by any appeals court.
All right, Priscilla Thompson joins us now live tonight. Priscilla, Darrell Brooks is defending himself. What exactly is his defense strategy?
Well, Tom, it's unclear what exactly his strategy is. So far, he's objected to just about everything in court, and his behavior and even his line of questioning with witnesses has been very erratic, making it incredibly difficult to pin down what exactly his defense is. But you did hear Brooks in the story say that this was not planned, this act of violence was unintentional, and he has also in court acknowledged the suffering that this has caused to the community and also to his own family.
If convicted, what type of punishment could he face?
Right. So he is facing 6 counts of intentional first-degree homicide, each of those carrying a mandatory life sentence. So that is the scope of what exactly he's looking at. And the judge is being very careful with Brooks to ensure that this doesn't result in a mistrial and that there is very little room for the possibility of an appeal once this is all over. Tom?
All right, Priscilla Thompson first. Priscilla, we thank you for that.
Yes. They basically hit him with the book.
Oh yeah, he's through.
The video I wanted to play is of all his outbursts. It's pretty long though, so I don't know if we're gonna get through all of it.
Was there? Well, can you get the main highlights with it by any chance?
Just go to the video because the article's pointless.
Like this article is old though.
Yeah,
like
just go
the
to the
sentencing
video.
already happened.
Go to the video.
That's what I'm gonna do. What do you have to say on this? Because this is your
Get to the
topic.
video, and I can talk while you're pulling the video up.
Okay, then talk.
Okay, first I watched pretty much the whole trial. For somebody who didn't want, everybody thought he was stupid. Man, he did a good job trying to represent himself. That judge was showing clear personal prejudice and bias before the trial even started. As soon as the trial started, before the trial even started, she was already riding his helmet. She was already being a jerk. It didn't help that they had already made up their mind prior to the trial starting. The media had drugged him prior to anything even happening. It was when they arrested him, before they even arrested him, they already knew who it was. They brought up all his criminal stuff, past things. They recorded his phone calls. You know what I mean? It was a lot of media coverage that kind of already tainted the public view.
Bucky, you got background noise.
It tainted the public. Go forward to like the ending of it, or like go halfway. Just watch that. Yeah, the trial part right there, around there somewhere. So they clearly have made up their mind. Now, all these little law and crime news networks, all their chat forums was clearly racist, and they clearly were saying words like hang him from the nearest tree, fry him, things like that. Even the reporters were calling him names. There was a lot of podcasters really trying to say he was stupid, that he's rude, that he doesn't have manners, that he's this and he's that. Personally, I don't think that was the case. I think that, hey, look at him, he's black. The shit was already stacked against him. Yes, this was something that happened. I don't think he had an adequate chance to really present himself because it was already contentious. Like they could get away with whatever objections they want to present, but the moment he tries to learn a little bit or object or even stand up for himself, this shit is constantly denied the whole trial. He gets denied every single thing that he's objecting to or asking questions about. They send the jury out when they don't want the jury to hear certain things. He's trying to tell the jury the truth. So it was a lot. That trial was heavy. And I'm not gonna lie, every time he got bold, and he had what are called real moments, like real us moments. I was like, yeah, tell him, don't look your lead on him. Like, yeah, he had real us moments right there. But other than that, he was trying towards, it seemed like every day he learned something new, and he was trying to better his stance with the way he talked to the judge. The judge was on his helmet, man, from jump. And so was everybody else. And the fact that it could have been pulled in the bench trial, even like on the first or second day, he discredited like 7 witnesses. But they don't want to talk about that. And they don't want to talk about the DA doing spiteful acts of calling up certain witnesses or bringing up certain things about this man's past or whatever that they really didn't have to bring up, but because he chose to bring up a certain witness or whatever, they were doing little spiteful acts. So yeah, he has a lot. They should be worried. And if he's smart, he'll find a way to do these appeals, because I mean, yeah, he's gonna be sitting in jail for life, right? We know that. And part of me is like, fuck it. A, make it difficult for them. 2, it was an accident. There was a lot of things that were really wrong. Even the police had pointed out that his vehicle was upset. His vehicle was malfunctioning. He tried to swerve out of the way. He tried to yell out the window for people to move. He was, there was a lot of things that he tried to do before all the shit really happened. And then he was only going 32 miles an hour. So, it seemed like a lot. 2, I'm upset with, that he didn't have no support. And I really have to wonder about us sometimes, but we're always talking about, them and how they should not be around no more and how they make our lives difficult. And when you have somebody like this, knock off them, like 70 of them, how we couldn't support him. You know what I mean? And I'm not, like, at least stand by him and give him some encouragement in these chats. Instead, everybody's over there dogging him and saying he's dumb. He really wasn't dumb. If you listen to the way he talked and the way he was trying to do this trial, he really was showing that he was intelligent and he was capable of doing this. The fact is that you had fucking nothing but white people there. And nothing but white people got hurt.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So on that alone shows the deck is stacked against him.
Right.
Has this person, well, see, I don't know how they do things there in the state of Wisconsin as far as his mental competence is concerned, but based on what Lady said, he pleaded insanity.
Yeah, but I think when he fired, my personal views, because I prosaic like 2 things for myself. I think the reason he fired, which we never found out, because the court would never let him really get his case across, right? So I think the reason, me personally, why anybody like us would fire an attorney or public defender is because they probably told him something that didn't sit right in his best interest for him.
Right.
And that's probably the reason that he felt like, hey man, you know what? This doesn't feel right. You're truly trying to give me the needle or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they got a death penalty, but they got, he felt like I could do this. I'd rather trust my life in my own damn hands than more people like them that are trying to go along with whatever the court wants, because everybody's on the agenda. You know what I mean? Everybody, know that go to court. They are on the judge's agenda.
Yeah.
Did he say anything about a mechanical failure to the automobile?
The police did.
The police did.
Okay, but I'm talking about, is it possible that this man could have been driving normally, obeying the speed limit, and then there was some type of fuck up with the mechanics of the vehicle?
We never got to that part because they never let him really talk. They never really let him actually explain himself. They never really got to defend himself, really. If you really watch the trial, he only got to question the witnesses, and then the judge was like, that's enough. Now we're going to end the trial.
Well, that's definitely bias on the judge's part right there.
Up all over this trial. Like, there is every day you could at least count like several acts of But she showed how she was truly feeling, and that right there, I don't know, man. There's so much to say. We could talk about this for hours because it was really messed up. I felt like we already knew he was getting life. We knew he was going to get big time because the vehicle killed 6 people, and that was automatic life.
6 white people.
6 white people. He killed. The vehicle accidentally killed 6 white people. So each death was
a life
sentence. So we knew there's 6 life sentences already there.
Right.
So out of it, but I think that he could at least had a chance to really explain what happened, and he didn't get a chance to. I felt like. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play this video real quick.
For sure.
You asked me my opinion.
Yes, I did ask your opinion. Now I'm asking you, do you know for sure if the driver of the vehicle you observed was in fact angry?
I assume that he was.
You thought because of that sound that there had to be some mechanical problems going on with the engine?
I thought that there could be.
But it was your first initial thought, correct?
Correct.
And you were able to hear that sound and come to a conclusion that possibly there were mechanical issues all in a few seconds.
A lot runs through your mind at that point in time. Yes.
See?
And you can see Brooks seemed to suggest a few things here. One, maybe it wasn't the intention of the driver to hit anyone. Maybe he was honking to get people out of the way. And 2, maybe there was a mechanical issue with the SUV and the driver lost control. The only problem with that is that a state inspector testified to the complete opposite. He reviewed the steering wheel, the tires, the brakes, the gas pedals, and said that there was no mechanical issue that the driver would have lost control. And also, even putting that aside, the honking, if you honk, but you didn't stop, what does it matter? That's the point. He drove the car. He didn't stop. He kept mowing people down. Doesn't matter if he honked. But what made this trial so different and so out there was the defendant's behavior as he represented himself. Because he would constantly interrupt the judge and bring up these legal theories that had no basis in fact and law. And the ups and the downs with his behavior was so startling. And at one point, let's begin. After he had a few of these outbursts, he actually apologized.
I would like to issue the court an apology from me in regards to my actions last week during the trial. I just want the court to understand it's very emotional right now, not only for just the whole situation of the trial, the families here that have to go through, everything that's going to be involved with the trial, but also my family as well and myself is very, very emotional. But not to excuse my actions, I should carry myself with better respect than that. I wasn't raised that way.
The I wasn't raised that way is really something else. But we all knew this didn't last long.
I'm a grown man with grown kids. Ain't nobody gonna talk to me like that. Nobody. I don't have a problem with doing what you asked me to do, not tell me. Just like when I asked you about subject matter jurisdiction that you have yet to prove on the record. But somehow I'm being intentionally disruptive. Come on, man. Stop. Just stop it.
Jury's coming out.
All right for the jury.
Not gonna work.
Yeah.
See, he didn't show the whole thing, though.
Yeah,
he just
he
showed
What
bits
you
and
believe
pieces.
fully.
All right.
It's
This
not a
like
game.
is a bitch the
I
whole
don't take
time.
this as a game. That's what
explain
nobody.
this to you
That's what
once
nobody.
again.
You don't gotta explain nothing to
Told
me.
you, probably he had real us moments right
That's
here.
what you don't understand. You think
you
that
want
this
the
is a whole
opportunity
game
to
to me.
question?
This is not a game to me, Your Honor.
Now, in fact, there was one point when he got so angry. You see, Brooks had called as a witness his ex-girlfriend, Erica Patterson. Now, she had previously testified for the state, and it's alleged that Brooks got into a fight with her and attacked her right before he drove the car into the parade. And Brooks, when he had her on the stand, what he wanted to do was introduce these photographs to arguably show that she wasn't a credible witness and also a bad mother. So when prosecutor Zach
That
Witchow
wasn't the
talked
case.
about
He didn't,
what
he
would
didn't care. It
happen
wasn't about the
if
mother.
these photos were allowed into evidence, he said that he'd have no choice but to reveal something very negative about Brooks's past. And again, this was all outside the presence of the jury. And thank goodness, because look how Brooks blew up.
Second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has. He impregnated Erica Patterson when she was a minor in Nevada, and for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad
Right
mom,
before these pictures came into play, Darrell Brooks wouldn't say anything about old girl's mothering. He was talking about old girl being a liar and not be credible because she lied, and then she lied on court, talking about she didn't remember, she didn't do this, that, and it was about her credibility. Had nothing to do with her being a mother. That dude brought it up. And so I was watching the trial. That dude brought it up. He said, and the judge wouldn't even let these pictures in because the judge was like, how do you know these pictures came from the girlfriend? And he had a whole argument for about 30 minutes about how, the girl wrote him the letters. She sent the pictures to him, this and this and that. And the judge was like, well, how do I know? How do I know? And he's trying to explain, how do you not know, when he's the recipient of this woman he's been with for 15 years, you know what I mean? They said if he brought the pictures in, which what they did earlier was some other shit, right? Some spiteful shit. This is where he says, if you go down that route with these pictures, trying to introduce them and make that woman seem like she's a bad mother, then we're going to do this. And that's where it got all ugly. Because this was a spiteful move. Go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
Furthermore,
I'll object to that.
I'm not
because that's a lie.
Let him
Because at the end of the day,
Let him finish.
We're gonna open the door
Mr.
on that. No,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record. Since you think you know so much.
Look, this way you know you
can
can
open the door on. We can open the door on how old she told you she was.
Interrupting.
We can ask that question
He is
too. Then
over the top animated
Did you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks.
You can tell he's telling the truth right there. Right?
No, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom.
Why?
And
Because he's telling the truth. You can tell he's telling the truth, right?
Early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back, and unless he brings that letter, and he can show it is inadmissible, she will not be questioned, and under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess. 1 hour.
Get your facts straight. So let's open the door on all of it again, so we can get all of it on the record. Since you think you know so much.
You can tell, see, some Jews having us moment. Like, man, like, you see, he's telling
And
the
if you
truth.
thought that
Why
was
would you be
bad,
that mad if you weren't
the
telling the
worst
truth?
of the worst is when at one point the judge had to stop court proceedings because she was actually scared of Brooks.
This bitch is a whole
Once the
liar.
jury's out, we should probably discuss that. I would like to provide the defendant and the court with a copy
So that had to
of
be
the-
said. So it's the defendant.
It was said,
That was how I said. You want to run the record back?
Mr. Brooks.
So I'm the only one. I got one.
Mr.
I got one
Brooks.
ear that work, and I heard that.
This
Come on,
is
man.
to benefit you so
No,
that
it's
you
not.
understand
Ain't none of
your
this to benefit
witness
me, so let's
has
be
a
clear about
prior
that.
record.
Your Honor, when I leave the table, I'm away from the courtroom and I have to elevate my voice. This is the
So she had to
alleged
elevate her
record of
voice
Abel
just for
Lescott.
that.
Stop talking.
Oh man, like I don't know who y'all be thinking.
Look, you see the men, look at them all looking down like they know he's telling the truth.
One more interruption and you're going to be.
Look at how
removed
that
from the
dude's
next
about to look at her.
Want to do anyway?
Like,
It's not what I want to do. Do not interrupt Attorney Opera.
So can
Your
you
Honor,
tell?
I
can you
believe he
please-
has 7 prior criminal convictions via OWI second from 1997 and OWI third from 1997.
what the fuck does that got to do with this though? You see what I'm saying? No.
From
This is why it was so
criminal
frustrating.
trespass
If you were watching the trial,
All right, I need to
this
take a
the
break.
reaction
This
she
man
made.
right now is having a
And-
stare down with
Yeah, hell yeah, I
Very
done stared at
disrespectful.
motherfucker too
He
like
pounded
that.
his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
Now, despite all of these outbursts, the judge moved forward with the trial. She gave Brooks a lot of leeway. She continued to allow him to represent himself. She didn't kick him out of the court all the time, although it happened a lot. And I've said it before because a lot of people have asked, why did she do that? Well, a common theory is that she did this because she wanted to preserve the record for appeal. That if he gets convicted, an appellate court can't say that the judge acted unfairly to Brooks, that she gave him every warning, every admonishment, and the only person that torpedoed Brooks's case was Brooks himself. And that also included when the judge said to Brooks that he forfeited his right to call any more witnesses or take the stand himself because he refused to answer her questions. Now, he claimed he couldn't hear what was being said when he was in the adjacent courtroom, but an IT specialist and a bailiff testified that the volume was loud and clear. Either way, after this, after Brooks was told that he forfeited his right to present a defense, he was particularly upset.
My final question to you, do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions? No.
I just told you, I don't know how many times, I can't hear everything you say.
Then you should put the headphones on.
Don't you understand? What about that don't you understand? If you see headphones, you can see everything. You can see boxes. You can see headphones.
Have you asked for headphones to be provided, sir?
I should have to ask for them. I didn't ask for my boxes to be moved.
I believe they took them away previously because you were so agitated. They were perhaps afraid you might break
Yeah,
them.
I'm still agitated. I ain't gonna stop being agitated. That ain't gonna stop.
Wow.
I don't blame him for being mad. Look how she treated him, man. You gotta watch it all the way through. You can't just hear it like this. Like they're giving you the pieces they want, the cherry picking they want.
Talking
I watched
to
it all
a
the way
judge,
through.
it's just shocking. Well, with him forfeiting his right to present a further defense, the trial headed for the end a lot sooner than we anticipated. I mean, it would have been really something and very interesting to have Darrell Brooks testify, take the stand, and particularly be cross-examined. But alas, it was not meant to be, and given his non-compliance, we move forward with the closing arguments. This is the last attempt in closing arguments for both sides to persuade this jury to vote a certain way. Closing arguments are not evidence. They're basically a summation of the case. First up, prosecutor Sue Opper.
He had plenty of opportunity to just stop anywhere along the way. One of the officers testified to it. I think it was Officer Schneider. This was an accident, and he mistakenly wandered onto the parade route after passing all this. And he mistakenly wandered onto the parade route. At any point, all he had to do was stop. They could have paused the parade. They could have moved the barricades and escorted him out. He didn't. It was intentional. He went on for 4 blocks. 4 blocks. It was intentional. He reached speeds of approximately 30 miles an hour. That's intentional. He plowed through 68 different people. 68. How can you hit 1 and keep going? How can you hit 2 and keep going? How can you hit 3 and keep going? Didn't faze him a bit. He kept going until he got to the end, and there was no more bodies to hit. It's intentional.
Again, she's really focusing on the intent here. She's focusing on the 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide in particular, and that if you had any question about what he was doing, just look at his actions. But Brooks had a response. A defendant or a defense attorney can present a closing argument. Obviously, he's representing himself, and he presented the closing argument, and he went into areas that he really wasn't allowed to go, though.
You should be informed that you have the power to nullify any law that you don't agree with.
Objection. Strike the statement. Sustained.
Objection.
I will strike from the record the last statement made by the defendant. The jury will disregard it.
Which is clearly what I've been saying. I believe that not only is it fair, but it's essential that you be privy to all knowledge, not knowledge that certain people feel that you should hear and shouldn't hear, disguised under the color of law. But the fact of the matter is, the vehicle in question, make a model of 2010 Ford Escape. The vehicle in question, actually 2008, 2009, and 2010 of that model was in fact recalled.
Objection, misstatement of the facts, facts not in evidence.
Was in
Proper
fact
argument, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Was in fact recalled.
Ooh.
Was in fact a class action lawsuit against Ford
Objection,
for those
facts
model
not in evidence.
vehicles.
Sustained. The jury will disregard.
Miss
Information
Trial
that
already.
You should have been privy to.
Yep.
That you weren't allowed to be privy to. Why?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It was an accident.
That information, malfunctioning throttle bodies.
Mr. Brooks, move on.
Okay, so first, a defendant can't argue jury nullification. Jury nullification is when a jury decides a case not based on the facts and the law, but some other reason, political, emotional. They're not allowed to do that. And that's what Brooks is basically advocating for here. He's basically saying, even if the prosecution proved beyond a reasonable doubt that he's guilty, you, jury, have the power to say otherwise. You can say not guilty. And this is despite objections from the prosecution and an order from the court telling him not to do it. He kept saying it. And by the way, the idea of a malfunctioning car, as we discussed, not only was there no evidence to suggest that wasn't even the case, but you can't argue something that wasn't presented in evidence. There was no evidence presented at trial about a recall or a class action. So all of this was irrelevant.
He didn't have a chance.
Well, the jury was ultimately handed the case, and after about 3 hours and 15 minutes, the jury came back with their verdict.
Here's the
The
verdict.
jury find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this 26th day of October 2022, signed by the foreperson. Hey, you are to be removed right now. You will not do that.
There you have it. They found him guilty across the board of all 76 charges, including 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, which carry a mandatory sentence of life in prison. And at the time of this recording, the sentencing date hasn't been set yet, but we believe that the victims' family members, they're all going to have an opportunity to make statements. And also Mr. Brooks and anyone on his side can make statements as well. And we're definitely going to follow it and hopefully report on it here on Sidebar. But I do want to leave you with this before.
Oh, Mr. Crackers, they got killed. Okay, so let's end that.
Yeah.
Oh God. So I mean, the brother was basically delaying the inevitable. He did his best to represent himself, but
Right.
the stack was clearly against him.
Clearly.
Yeah, without a doubt.
No,
And then
he tried, man. We gotta give A for effort, but you did try.
okay, but however, though, once again, it all depends on what state it's in. Is because if those vehicle, or if the vehicle that he was driving was in fact faulty, or not up to par, or had some type of mechanical failure with it, then that's got to be a litigating factor in his defense as well. But it appears
that till right now. Like
okay.
The vehicle was recalled. I like, dude. I knew from jump, man, there was something wrong with the vehicle. But honestly, they had the vehicle, they had the people there, they had motherfucking detectives already. The detective that they brought on trial, he didn't have to be there, but he was there before they even knew they were going to call him up again. He was sitting on the other side. So, there was a lot of, I would say there was a lot of mismanagement of this case. And I wouldn't even be surprised if shit was falsified, because Upon questioning on the stand, motherfuckers were clearly like, I knew it was him. Oh no, wait, I made my report 2 days after the news came out. You know what I mean? You made your report 2 days after the news came out. And you're the one calling the police. You're fucking trippy. So you didn't know who it was. You
Yeah.
news.
Description.
Yeah, you saw the news, and then you made a report. If you thought that you saw him like when he had this one dude up there, one dude walking his dog across the street with his kid, and he going right behind these houses, allegedly, dude said he heard a crash. But this guy's an officer of the law. He didn't like go check out the crash. He didn't go do nothing. He didn't call nobody right then and there. He didn't make no wild movements of said I heard it. And this was all on video. So he discredited that shit right there. So, you know, like I'm sitting there looking at it like A for effort. I give my boy props for trying and having real moments in there. He had real us moments in there. Goddamn right, we're gonna be mad about some shit when you know that they're trying to stick you. You know they're trying to not let you get your point across. You know the chips are stacked against you, but you know that they're actively being what do you call it? Showing bias or prejudice or something.
Implicitly biased.
Yeah, that. You know that's happening. So yeah, of course you're gonna get upset. Who hasn't gotten upset in court? And not anybody who has ever went to court and had a trial of their own has known damn well they have gotten upset with whatever's happening in court. Either that you didn't get your lawyer didn't speak up when they were supposed to, or you didn't get the right representation, or the judge wasn't having it when she saw you and she gave you the book for the whole time you were in trial. So everybody has been there, and it's just us that we're the only ones that get mad. Everybody they just need to sit down and just be quiet. No. Would you really sit down and be quiet if you knew on one side that A, it was not intentional, it was an accident. B, you didn't know how to stop from all that shit. You got scared, whatever, you panicked, whatever, but you had something to say about it, and you just felt already prejudged versus anybody asking you, hey, you know, they already even in his even when they picked him up and they had him in the detective cell, they were like trying to talk to him. He acted like he didn't know what was going on, whatever. But they weren't trying to just tell him, hey, look, something wrong with the vehicle, dude. Or what happened? Well, it was an accident. Were you fleeing the situation? Were you scared? Like, just talk to us, man. Just talk to us. Instead, they're like, you know you did it. You killed these people. You intentionally did it. It's already on the attack. And so naturally you're gonna want to protect yourself by any means necessary and then try to protect yourself legally. You know what I mean? And this shit was just crazy. Like, I don't blame him for standing up for himself at all. I blame the people that really don't understand why he stood up for himself and that they were so willing to drag him. That could be any of us, man.
Yeah.
Any of us. That could be any of us, and automatically we're fucking guilty.
We're always guilty until proven innocent.
And then they got, she's been so patient. The judge is so patient. What patience? That bitch just had no patience. She was ready to get that motherfucker off his feet the moment he walked in. She felt like this was on record 2-3 weeks or 2 months or whatever when they had him in there talking about all the money that was raised for all the victims and woe is these victims and woo and all this shit. My family secretly, how we've been behaving this whole motherfucking time about them. And now look what happened. Just saying. Do you hear me? This shit really upset me. She ended us, man.
He took on the whole state of Wisconsin.
Hey, he did it, man. He did it. We gotta give him some kind of credit. That's a bold move right there.
Yeah, it was.
I give him a little A for effort. He tried. It didn't work out. We knew it wasn't gonna work out, but yeah, man, you gotta at least go for broke and try your hardest. You know.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Shabaka, before we move to the next topic?
Yes, sir. You know, and Lady Che is right on that. And then, he's supposed to have the right to testify and what have you. So once again, it's going to show on the double standards and the hypocrisy of the judicial process when it comes to black people, you see. And it seems to me if that vehicle was recalled, and it seems to me that they need to be investigating it to see what it was recalled for, which might have been a contributing factor.
Right.
See? And in other words, this is a case, from what I see, is that you got a lot of extenuating circumstances, you see. And then, too, depending on how ambiguous what the statutes is there in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Because if the statutes are ambiguous where it cannot be understood by the common man, then it's not a statute.
Right.
Say that, and that's the hypocrisy of the judicial system here in the U.S., particularly, when it comes to black people, people of African descent, and what have you, or foundational black Americans, as Brother Che has puts it, you see. So, don't get me wrong, the whole situation there with the people getting killed is fucked up. Do let me say that. But however, if that vehicle was at fault, or if it has been recalled, or if it has some type of mechanical malfunction, you see what I'm saying? Then, those should be some litigating circumstances as well. But however, Brother Che is more versed off in court proceedings and legal procedures than I am. But however, I do know when a black man goes to court, the deck is stacked against you, because that's a fucked up feeling sitting in that defendant's chair.
Yeah.
It really is, So you're going to be pushed to the edge depending on what you hit with. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just the pressure alone, you see.
Fights.
Real us moments, man. And even when they try to touch him and remove himself, he got like us, like how we would get. Hey, man, don't be touching on me. You better not touch me. I mean, this is real shit. We would get just like that. We would. Not them. We would.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I mean?
then, of course, once they got through it, and once the deputies got him up out the courtroom and got him back there in them cells, they whooped his ass.
Yep.
You see,
crazy.
That's a given.
Mm-hmm.
You see.
They said he's disrespecting this old Karen, but really she was disrespecting him as well, and she didn't recognize his sovereignty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, then what he needs to do is start proceedings, in my opinion, to recuse the judge.
Yeah.
She gave like 6 different reasons for her to be. And for A, he started with the mistrial as soon as it started, because of the jury. Even one jury submitted. I think one jury submitted something to Reddit. News or something, Reddit, like some kind of
social media.
Yeah, and he brought that up, and then still the trial still persisted. That right there is wrong. The jury's not supposed to know anything that's going on in the media currently during the trial.
Mm-hmm. The tainting.
Oh, this is good. This is good, Shabaka. The next one.
Tainting the witnesses. So, our next topic is why are the Moors going at the new Blacc Media? So, a brother, I use this word very sparingly. A brother named Tahaka Bay calls himself going at the new Blacc Media, and specifically, he calls himself going at Tariq Nasheed. Now, for like the past 3-4 weeks, past a month or so, he's been doing little videos periodically about Tariq, accusing Tariq of being a grifter, accusing Tariq of being a scammer, and he's gone after other prominent figures as well, but in the new Blacc Media. But he's been focusing mainly on Tariq lately. So Tariq clapped back. I just want to show. I'm not gonna play these videos because there's too many damn videos, but This show, ooh, is that fireworks or those gunshots?
Fireworks.
Sound like gunshots. We're in the hood, y'all. So if you hear gunshots, that's what it is. Foundational Black Americans, please help us. I was on that show and also another show that he did the past month. But lately, he's been going in specifically on Tariq. And Tariq answered back against Tahaka Bay. Tahaka Bay represents the Moors, even though he's really not a good representation of the Moors, especially seeing that Tariq exposed him for being a child molester, a woman beater, and a child abuser, and a abuser of women. And he's a sex offender. He's a registered sex offender. So yeah. So he's everything bad that we would consider bad in our community. And another brother by the name of Shabir Bey has been going at Tariq, and he's also a Moor. Shabir Bey. Recently. Yes, he's done he's done at least 3 videos on Tariq. Specifically. Recently? Yes. Recently. All this is recent. So I don't know what the issue is the Moors have with this dude again. Yeah, you've been blocked.
Yeah. Who is that has been blocked?
Oh, the troll from earlier.
Oh yeah, what was the troll talking about?
Oh man, you need to calm down.
I think it's referring to me.
Wow. Okay.
Down. No. How about that? Why don't you calm me down?
No, they can't comment no more. They've been blocked.
I bet you won't do that. You won't calm me down. So you can't calm something down when they're extremely passionate about what the fuck we're talking about. It ain't no game.
Right.
Why don't you calm me down then?
So yeah, the Moors have been. It's another brother. I haven't pulled his video up either, but they've been going at Tariq and the new Blacc Media. First of all, they keep telling us, Blacc is dead and we shouldn't be going by Blacc and all that stuff. What Tariq would call plebiscite babble. And every time I go on these channels, I'm like, look, y'all, why don't y'all talk to Tariq specifically? Like, y'all know how to get a hold of him. You know where he's at. Like, why y'all keep doing this? And Tahaka Bay has literally admitted that he is clout chasing, that he's doing this for views, that he just wants to get his ratings up. So he's doing all these videos about Tariq and others to get his viewership up for ratings. So Tariq sees this. So I'm going to play the video of Tariq answering back to Tahaka Bay. And it's hilarious, Black family. It is really hilarious.
I don't like Sabir, man. I gotta watch that, man. I like Sabir because Sabir really provided a lot of knowledge to me.
Yeah, Sabir is on some other stuff lately.
I haven't been watching it, but he really provides a lot of knowledge for me to read, and he's got me really linked up with a lot of good shit. Regardless of what's going on, I really have benefited from some knowledge that Sabir Bey has brought to my attention. But now I'm like, now I gotta watch these videos and see what Jesse's talking about later.
Yeah, so Tariq Nasheed did a video last week called Vote Shaming. And he's talking about the Democrats vote and shaming. But when he started off the video after he does the promo for the FBA rally, which is taking place November 5th in Washington, D.C., he does this.
You know how I did. You know how Tahaka Bay did. So you have to question this brother. Understand me? Now, let me promote one of my janky raps, okay? Now that I have your attention, let me bust one of my rhymes.
So he got a Frankenstein mask on. He got the fez on. And he's clearly
man.
on the Tahaka Bay.
Hold on. Yeah. The Hawker Bay in the spot. I got the drop. I kick these rhymes. These rhymes are hot. I kick these rhymes all day and night. I'm not just battling. It's not just clever sights. I keep it raw. I keep it true. I'm the Hawker Bay. Yo, you know what I did. All right. Anyway, y'all, thank you guys for tuning in.
Wow.
You know how I do. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Back to regular scheduled program, but you know how I do.
So then Tahaka did like 3 other videos. The most recent was tonight about Tariq Nasheed lying, just saying his name is Marcus Sanders and comparing him to some dude named Marcus Sanders. It's not even the same dude. Saying Tariq's real name is Marcus Sanders. If I was Tariq, I would sue the hell out of him for slander and defamation because the dude is just beyond reaching at this point.
Wow.
But he is actively
incredible
because we've been in his chat room and he's actively admitted that he's doing this for views and he's clout chasing.
Okay. All right. Noted. Noted.
You have anything to add, Lady Shay?
No, man. Man, come on, man. I didn't want to believe what Jesse just said. I gotta review. I gotta review the Bay fucking movies or podcasting because I really don't want to have to turn my back on some education, dude, over some bullshit. However, it will be done if it has to go down that way. I don't like Tahaka Bay. I think that motherfucker is a straight clown. I thought about him as a clown from jump. I've been saying he's a clown.
Yeah.
Like there's been many times where I said that fool is a straight fucking clown. Everybody, I don't think he's a clown. No, he's a clown. That fool is a clown, and he ain't got nothing else going on. He's a clown.
Yeah.
So our next topic, unless Shabaka has anything to add.
Well, it's sensationalism. You said it perfectly well. You know what I mean? He's in it, for the views. You see?
Yep.
Yeah, he's in it for the views, and then coming out there dressed up the way he did, looks like old boy is definitely trying to promote himself.
Oh yeah. Well, the brother that had the mask on, that was Tariq Nasheed. That was his answer back.
Oh, okay.
And not only that, but everybody's always watching Tariq's pocket. Like let the man makes his money how he makes his money. And I mean, that's the dudes with the Black History Museum.
Yeah.
Everything he does. Flourishing.
And I got a question about the Black History Museum. It was supposed to go up there on the corner of 43rd and Crenshaw, right?
Yeah, it got moved to Jefferson and I keep forgetting what the cross street is, but it's in the same general area.
Okay, Jefferson runs east and west. Crenshaw runs north and south. I wonder if it's Crenshaw and Jefferson.
No, it's not. It's off of Crenshaw. It's like a few blocks away from Crenshaw.
Okay, on Jefferson.
Yeah, but it's not directly on Crenshaw.
Okay.
I forgot what the street is.
Everything that man does eventually comes to fruition. I don't see Tahaka making documentaries or putting out books or albums or making fucking plans for a whole Black museum. And not only that, but showing the fact that he raised the money and used it for what he said he was going to use it for.
Right.
So I don't see why everybody got a pocket watch so deeply. Like, man, get your fucking eyes out of his ass, dude. Like,
right.
Let the man do what he's going to do. It's for our benefit. Why
Right.
tell him thank you and keep it pushing?
Right.
Because mugs are trying to clout chase. So Tariq
that museum, the
back.
books, everything that he does is for our benefit to educate us. I don't understand why no one could just say, thank you for your efforts. We are greatly appreciative. And leave it at that. We gotta be some fucking old, well, how much money is he made? And he's a fraud and he's this and that. Who gives a fuck, man? Just tell him thank you. He's taking the time to educate our punk asses.
Right.
Yes,
exactly.
Back in a major way. So listen up, yo.
Help too. Yes, they went to England and got help. They sent their one of the people to England to get help from England. Yes, they did. But see, this is what kills me when you have a lot of Negroes over here now talking about they're part of the Moorish Empire and you walking around with a fez. You dig? Let's get deep with that. You walking around here with a damn fez talking about Moorish nationality. Are we going there tonight? Yes, we are. Are we going to go there tonight? Are we going to go there tonight? We're going to go there. Do we need to go there? Do we have any Moorish Science Temple dudes in here? You dig? Or do we have some Moorish Science Temple dudes in here? Shout out to Elevation Allah. Because see, we got goofy Negroes like Taharka Bey. Yes, we're going to touch on Taharka Bey. Let's tie Taharka Bey's ass in this. AKA Toronto Antonio Johnson. That's Taharka Bey's real name. Now, Taharka Bey has been trying to campaign for attention, and I did some lightweight smacking him around, and I pretty much wiped him out. I smacked Taharka Bey around lightweight, and the little lightweight smacks wiped him out. He's a rap, and he knows it. So Taharka Bey has been trying to take little shots, trying to get clout from me because he's a nobody. I know you're listening to Taharka Bey. Yeah, plebiscite babbling Taharka Bey. Yes, this nigga's name is Toronto Antonio Johnson. And I lightweight smacked him and got him out the game. He's a rap. What really got Toronto, Taharka Bey, was when I put the Frankenstein mask on. When I put the Frankenstein mask on, that really got under his skin. You dig? That really got him. All right. When I started doing the videos about him looking like a Negro Frankenstein, you dig? That was kind of getting to him. That was getting to him. It was getting to him.
All right. Ugly ass man.
It was getting to him. But when I did that, when I had the mask, and I put the mask and the fez on, because this is what this nigga looks like. Oh, I think that burned his soul. That burned his soul. So he jumped all out the window. I heard little bits and pieces. Oh, this nigga just went up. Oh, he got real pissed. So I think that wiped him out a little bit. So he was, oh my God, I heard little clips of.
Yeah, that burnt his soul. You know, it burnt his soul so much, Black family, that he did 4 other videos after this.
Wow.
My family posting pictures of my babies. Oh, that's a nigga who lost. Oh, this nigga was, oh, I don't listen to Harker. I don't listen to the plebiscite babble. I don't listen to a nigga plebiscite babbling. I don't listen to that. But you putting pictures of my babies and just, that's whole shit. I don't respect that. I don't respect that. So we're going to talk about Taharka Bey tonight. He's somebody, most of you are like, I have no idea who Taharka Bey is. He's a nobody. He's a weird, funny-looking Negro who I basically destroyed his little bullshit career without even trying. I barely did it. And you can tell you destroyed somebody's shit when their comeback is a bunch of lies and babble. Some of his comebacks was on some, well, Tariq has a white lawyer. You know how I do. Well, Tariq's sister's cousin's brother, uncle, brother-in-law is Latino. You know how I do. If that's your comeback, that means you lost.
Right.
If the worst thing you could say about me is your cousin's uncle, auntie, mama, grandma, brother-in-law is whatever, you don't have anything. And you're saying to the world, Tariq Nasheed is so goddamn thorough, I have nothing. I have to reach and cobble together something about this dude. That's what being thorough is about, nigga. That's how thorough I am in the game. I am a thorough brother. I do not plebiscite babble. I am an alpha male. I say what I mean what I say, and I handle my business. And I'm a trustworthy person. My rep is impeccable. So cobbling together some jive-ass talking point basically translates to I lost. And I take your concession. I accept it. I accept your loss. And I'm not going to really address the loser again. I don't have to, because trolling and babbling is just what losers do. That's their way of kind of coping with losing. Okay? But Taharka Bey, you're talking about my children. I don't really know all you're talking about, but I know it was pretty reckless. You're talking about the family. Now, I'm not going to bring your family in it, because Taharka, I've seen images of your family. I'm not going to bring your family into it, but I see where you get that big ass head from. That
So he goes in on his head. He's just
well, that just means he's got a lot on his mind if he's got a big head.
Looks like this, guys.
Yeah.
I've never seen a human being who looks like this. This nigga looks like a hammerhead shark. I've never seen anybody who look like this weird nigga. Who's FBA? Where's this dude from? Yeah? So he's always been a swagless nigga. Toronto? This is an intervention, Toronto. Where are you from, nigga? But this nigga, when people sit up here trying to project scams, trying to cobble together a false narrative to project scams onto people, it's usually is a registered sex offender. So nigga, not only are you engaging in domestic violence, child abuse, damn nigga, you a perv too? Damn, Taharka Bey. Where are the Taharka Bey supporters? Get your asses. Let me see who you are, then get your ass out of here. We don't do that over here. We don't have people supporting pervs over here. Okay? We don't have people supporting goddamn perverts over here. Where the Taharka Bey supporters? This bitch-ass domestic violence, abusive ass pervert who's a sex offender who's registered.
Jesus.
I ain't expected tether. Look at that fucked up hairline on this bitch nigga. Look at this nigga's hairline.
I thought it was
family, look at it.
Then he went to child abuse.
Come on, let me draw it up closer. This nigga looks like Carl fucking Winslow off Family Matters. This is not an FBA hairline. Where is this ugly motherfucker from? Where are you from, Toronto? Nigga. Where in the hell are you from?
Wow.
Come on. This is this nigga right here. Come on, Carl Wins. This is a tether hairline, nigga. No wonder you have such a problem with foundational Black Americans, my nigga. I think you are a suspected tether. Nigga, look at that hairline. Where are you from, Toronto? Come on, my G. Tell the truth and shame the devil, man. Where are you from, my dude? Hold on, dude. Come on, dude. Hey. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. That's right. All right. All right. There it is. All right, that's enough. All right.
He's stupid.
Okay, nigga. But Toronto, you bitch ass nigga. You ain't shit. You ain't gonna never be shit. You're a born loser. You're a lifelong failure. You're extremely jealous of Tariq Nasheed. And all you can do now is sit up and make bitch ass videos whining about me and trying to galvanize a couple of scrawny YouTube dollars because you can't generate that money on your own and you need Big Daddy to help you make money because you have been turned into my de facto bitch. That's what it is. You dig?
Need Big Daddy to help
Damn. You are a bitch nigga. And you know how I do. And I was just in your neck of the woods, nigga. I was just in your neck of the woods stomping, getting nothing but respect in the DMV. Just in your neck of the woods, bitch nigga. Walking them DMV streets, getting nothing but love. Your hammerhead ass can't walk these streets out here, bitch nigga. You cannot. Nigga, with that big ass head, people wouldn't know what to do.
Wow.
Hey, like they would think it was an alien invasion. Nigga, that hairline is a beast. But anyway, that's your boy. You know how I do. Sex offender Taharka Bay. Registered sex offender Taharka Bay. Who fucking with him? Who's rocking with him? You rock with him, you ain't rocking with me. I don't rock with niggas who rock with sexual offenders, registered sex offenders.
No, I agree with him on that.
Nah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna scan my friends list to make sure that motherfucker ain't on there.
For protection. You go to jail, you gotta start praying.
That motherfucker is straight clown. I've
You
fucked him
dig?
for a long time. I don't listen to him. I don't
Dirty ass nigga.
I tune in.
You couldn't walk these streets out here. Yeah, we don't take kindly to little sex offenders like you, bitch ass. We don't take kindly to that.
That
Fuck
dude
nigga.
was like, why don't you come on the show and explain your platform? And I
Up
was
here
like,
beating
better
on
not.
women and kids. What kind
Better
of
not.
bullshit is that?
Don't go on there.
Nigga, you ain't on the level that I'm on, my nigga.
You went on there.
Anywho,
That's not.
I said what I said, and that's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell no.
That was
Anyway,
before we even knew about this. It just was not the right platform to be on anyway. That motherfucker a clout chaser.
Yep.
He fucking what you call him
Sensationalist.
Yeah, bait
Right.
Chris.
Yeah, the West Coast is full of them. That's why you got a place called Hollywood.
He tore up some of the Panthers. He tore up some of their people. You know what I mean? Like he's just an antagonist, and like we got one of those in our city already. Why we gotta go on the internet to interact with another one that's even worse? You know what I mean? So I was like, I told Jesse, I was like, man, don't go on there. Where our intention when we talk to the new Blacc Media is to talk to the new Blacc Media. That's not the new Blacc Media.
Right.
That's some off-brand over there doing some clickbait shit, acting like a clown. And then he want to drag a motherfucker that that actually does beneficial shit, contrary to popular belief. He does beneficial shit for our people, and he makes documentaries, teaches us shit, writes books, we listen to music. He's funny, he is music, he does entertain us.
He paid for Dr. Francis Quest Wilson's funeral.
Yep.
He paid for Dr. Ben's funeral.
Right.
He donated money to the people that got arrested during the protests.
Right. And he's automatically like, I don't see a problem with anything he does because everything he does, he has a proven track record of actually completing and succeeding and keeping the fucking people updated. And everybody want a pocket check. That's jealousy when you're watching money, other people's money. Like you don't got nothing else to do. But then you're gonna try to shame them and belittle them all the time. You got a whole fucking chat room dedicated to people that absolutely pocket watch or word watch. You know what I mean? They're always on somebody's, like always in somebody's ass or somebody's mouth. Listening to what the fuck they say or watching their money. They have nothing else to do. And they stay on there for hours and hours just degrading, galvanizing individuals, creating whole platforms, and then you got to throw his name on there in your title, or else you're not gonna get no views.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or nobody show up. That's not the kind of viewership anybody. Well, we don't want that. Not only that, but we rock with a certain message. A lot of that has to do with tangibles, FBA stuff. Cut the check. We got a lot of things that we rock with that we don't need any more distraction from the actual fucking goals. You know what I mean? And that right there, Taka Bay is a form of distraction and confusion. And he's when anybody who's an antagonist, that's their job. Their job is to be that way. So, we're not gonna give him no play. So that's just all I got to say about that. At least not in my house. We ain't giving him no play in my house.
Right. I'm gonna move us to our next topic, and that is what's going on with the serial killer in Kansas City, Missouri. So this article comes from the Missouri Independent, and it says spotlight is on Kansas City and its problem of missing Black women. Kansas City police insisted that rumors of a serial killer targeting Black women were false. Now that a kidnapped Black woman has been found, the story is not as cut and dried. On October 7th, a terrified 22-year-old Black woman escaped from a home in Accessory Springs. She told police that she had been locked up for about a month after being abducted from Prospect Avenue in Kansas City by a man who lives in the home. The man, Timothy M. Hazlitt Jr., 39, is in custody, facing charges of rape, kidnapping, and assault in Clay County. The woman told neighbors and police that she was restrained in a small room in Hazlitt's basement, where he repeatedly raped, beat, and tortured her. She managed to escape when he took his elementary-age son to school. The woman told a neighbor and police something else. There were other victims, she said, women who didn't make it out. The woman's escape and Hazlitt's arrest occurred a month after the Kansas City Defender and Black-owned news publication republished a video of Bishop Tony Cardwell, a community and church leader, alerting the public of assertions that at least several Black girls and women are missing from the Prospect Avenue corridor. We got 4 young ladies that have been murdered within the last week off of 85th and Prospect, Cardwell said in a video. We got a serial killer again. After the video went viral on social media, the Kansas City Police Department released a statement calling Cardwell's assertions completely unfounded. The department makes the public aware of every homicide it investigates, the statement said. It said police have responded to 1 homicide of a woman in 6 weeks at a location not close to Prospect Avenue. Several news outlets, which had not reported on Cardwell's allegations, did report the police rebuttal. Authorities in Kansas City and Accessory Springs told news outlets they have not found a link connecting the women imprisoned in Hazlitt's home with any other reported missing or murdered women. The police investigative squad in Clay County is working the case and searching for any other victims. But the woman's emergence and her story of being abducted in Kansas City has riled Black leaders and residents. They contend that the events are proof that police don't take reports of missing Black women seriously, and that mainstream news outlets are quick to accept the police version of events. Facts. We've been hearing that. We've been knowing that for years. I'm tired of hearing these excuses. I'm tired of hearing police thinking what people know instead of going to the people and seeing who they are, said Gloria Ellington, the founder of GYRL, a nonprofit she started in 2000 with the mission of empowering women, especially victims and survivors of domestic violence. Ellington is part of a group searching for missing women and girls along the Prospect Corridor. What's happening? Caldwell said he began to fear for the welfare of multiple Black women in Kansas City after he helped a father search for a 15-year-old girl who went missing from the area in mid-September. The teenager was eventually found, but in the process of looking for her, Caldwell and other canvassers ran across information about other missing girls and women. All this information started coming out as we were looking for a totally different person, he said. Local activists say it isn't uncommon for young women to go missing from that area, generally known as the Prospect Corridor, which frequently records some of the city's highest crime rates. Yeah, Prospect Avenue is pretty bad. 2 years ago, Caldwell and others conducted a search for 38 individuals who they had been told were missing. Out of that, 32 of them happened to be African American, and we were able to find 13 of them, he said. Nationally, of 300,000 missing girls and women reported in the U.S. in 2020, a third of them were Black, according to PBS.
Wow.
Remember the 64,000 Black women that went missing in 2019. In Kansas City, the proportion is the same. Black Kansas citizens or citians were acutely aware that concerns about missing women too often proved to be correct. In 2004, a 47-year-old Terry A. Blair was murdered, which was charged with murdering 6 women near Prospect Avenue. He was convicted in 2008. Various responding to filling missing persons report. The recent confluence of events has also raised questions about whether Kansas City's requirements for initiating a missing person investigation are too stringent. According to KCPD procedure, an adult missing person report will be completed when a preliminary investigation determines that a person was last seen in Kansas City and meets an additional requirement such as being under professional care for mental health issues and under threat from domestic violence or another reason. While the requirements for reporting missing juveniles are different, parents still confront issues in trying to complete the reports. We had a lady there today that talked to us. She tried to file a report with her daughter. It didn't happen, Caldwell said. They told her, "We don't know if you have a daughter or not," he said. Wow. The father of a 15-year-old girl whom Caldwell helped search for in September came to him because of roadblocks he confronted in trying to report her missing to the police department, Caldwell said. He found out because our name was already out there. Certain things like this in the community, working with people that nobody else will work with, Caldwell said. A long history of mistrust has also left members of the Black community with a reluctance to disclose information to the police.
Right.
We all know that a lot of people in the streets don't trust the police. So they don't talk to the police about certain things, Caldwell said. With things going on and on about police brutality, A lot of people, if they have information, they'll still not telling the police because of distrust and the walls that have been built up. But they'll talk to us all day long, the community leaders.
Yeah.
Disconnect between local media and community. Residents of Kansas City's Black community are also calling out local news outlets, saying they help to perpetuate the silencing of Black Kansas citizens or citians. We know that we've been incarcerated at a higher rate. So we know
Right.
that most of us will be disfigured in our commentary to the media. So we don't
Right.
them, Ellington said. Ellington said she regards the willingness of news outlets to rely on the police response as the only and last word, as typical of the media's disregard of her community. Many Black Kansas Cityans depend on social media to get the word out, she said. We've never had that backing, and we've never relied on the media to be our friends. So the word of mouth is the strongest information you can get out there, she said. To talk to each other gets the word out, whether somebody comes with a camera or to write. But we're at the point now that we're sick and tired of it, and we're not asking for their permission any longer. So what's next? The kidnapping
Mhm.
story and allegations that concerns about missing women were not taken seriously have drawn reporters from national news outlets to Kansas City. And as interest shows no signs of subsiding, advocates say that they are receiving more reports of missing women in the area. Caldwell called for police in Kansas City to do a better job of hearing and working with Black residents. Of trying to alienate people, they need to learn to embrace people, he said. How they word things means a lot. This community is already hurting. Don't traumatize us anymore.
Right.
Black leaders are also asking for a less onerous process for reporting a missing person or person missing. I don't care anymore about them saying if it was a report or not. We still have people missing, Caldwell said. One thing is,
Right.
let's bring them home safely. Let's not try to prove a point. Change can happen on a personal and communal level, Ellington said. We need to get back to what we were created to do, and that is to be a servant of each other, she said, to help the voices rise that can't speak for themselves. Wow.
Okay. Okay, you can't get too mad at her for that. You know what I mean?
You can't.
And then on top of it too, just like if they got a lot of Black women coming up dead there in Kansas City, you know, which was something similar that happened in Los Angeles about 40 years ago, I believe, and to find out that the assailant was a police officer.
Well, how about that police officer that was impregnating all them Black women and giving them AIDS?
Oh yeah, and here's one for you too. A guy, a California Highway Patrol officer, his case is on social media or in major news outlets. His name was Gwaltney, who was a California Highway Patrol officer who used to patrol Interstate 15, which is out in the desert parts, you know, going from Barstow to Vegas.
Yeah.
And he had murdered a woman, and then, you know, with him trying to change the barrel of the gun that he used to murder her, and then of course other forensic evidence that they found against him, you know, he failed as well as he should. But when it comes to, you know, a lot of our Black women being murdered, you know, that's not cool. That's not good. Could be for the melanin, it could be for the reproductive organs. It's because there's been cases like that, you know, as well too throughout the U.S. You see,
One of our viewers said there, Pearl, shout out to Pearl Queen. She said, yes, Memphis, Tennessee is doing the same.
really? Wow. Okay. So they have a serial killer of black women in Memphis, Tennessee as well too.
Oh, she's saying, I think she's talking about the police department out there. Like they're making it real hard to get these cases looked at. So they're not taking them serious at all. Because
Right.
but if they were anything else but black, they would be taking it very seriously.
Oh hell yeah, most definitely. I mean, and then there's a story that we did, Mad Dr. D and myself, about the Atlanta child murders in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Okay, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry, the late 70s going into the early 80s, and where Maynard Jackson was at that time was the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, and it was at least 30 victims who came up missing and murdered. Okay, and it was called the Atlanta Child Murders case. And keep in mind that this guy that they got, Wayne Williams, who they convicted of only 2 or 3 of the murders. You know, he systemically has been denied parole, from what I understand. But we don't know how the Georgia Bureau of Investigation works. We don't know how they do things there in the great state of Georgia. So if we've had somebody out the Atlanta area, you know, to give us an update on that as well too, is because after they arrested Wayne Williams, they, from what I understand, they didn't even continue more with the investigation into the other homicides, and the evidence against him was circumstantial.
Right. Let's hear from Lady Cherry. What are your thoughts on this serial killer in Kansas City, Missouri? Lady Cherry.
I think it's. I listen. I just gotta get a moment, man. Like, you know, honestly, like, should be trying to kill off our sisters, cause, like, you know, that's like why, like, why, you know, like, there's not even a why. It's not even a why. It's not even really why. It's just fucking keep your motherfucking hands off us.
Right.
So why you gotta do it? Why? There's so many missing, and the fact that no one's looking for them, or even really talking about them, or it's like almost like every day, you know, like when a man or woman gets beaten by the police, they only talk about it for like 2-3 hours on the news. That's it. It's a wrap, and we never hear anything about him after that. Or like the dude that got shot like 64 times. We didn't hear anything about it after like a
Jalen Walker.
You know, like, this is real serious. Like, and the fact that people don't agree with us wanting to abolish the police, or us really holding white supremacy and racism accountable, or really wanting to go after motherfuckers that do this shit, it's stupid. It's like, how could you not want to protect your fucking people? Like, you know, it really, like, it really makes you wonder that there's something wrong with that picture, that you only have maybe a third of the motherfucking people that are conscious, that actually want to protect their own people, take care of them, and look out for them, and keep them safe, man, woman, and child, from fucking the outside fucking of jealousy, envy, fucking whatever it is that provokes somebody to take all these women off the street and do whatever with them, and then not tell nobody about it, or don't even leave them anything to be found, so that, you know, their people can have some sort of fucking closure, or a fucking answer, or a reason. You know what I mean? I mean, this is so unbearable upset that they cause everybody, and people are affected by it. Not just the people in the state that are going through it, but then you got people like, look at us, like, we're affected by it. I'm right here, like, I'm upset. You know what I mean? Like, geez, that article was heavy, and the fact that we got to hear about it after the fact, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about these women as it happens. Like, I think we used to get Amber Alerts like what, once every other day or something like that.
Yeah.
They barely do that anymore. And when they do an alert out here, it's a Hispanic child, or it's a white child, and when it's a black child, it's very rare. Like out of the last 3, you know?
Remember that the sister
terrible.
that her dad kidnapped her and took her to Utah or something.
Right.
That's the only time I remember a black person actually being on an Amber Alert.
Right. Or the one with the two little the mother and the two little mixed kids when they got kidnapped by their own father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he held them hostage and whatnot. But Jesus, like, you know, like, there's no peace. And then I wonder why there's going to be all this civil unrest. Like, look, man, that's somebody's mother, sister, daughter, baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's somebody's to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they don't understand. But if you picked off one of those people, oh God, man, they wouldn't stop looking for you. They wouldn't stop. They didn't look. They kept looking for that one white girl and her boyfriend for like a whole month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when it came to that one lady whose daughter, you know, she thought she ran away or whatever, but that girl is not back yet. Has not been returned yet.
We still ain't found what is her name? LaShayla Jackson.
Or the brother that got kidnapped. Right? And nobody knew where he was. Nobody knew where he went. Like last year, remember?
Yeah.
Right? They don't care. They don't care.
Nope.
Yeah, we are in rallies and hanging out for Obama and shit. And you see how much they care about you, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is what we mean by that. We are in a state of emergency. See,
mm-hmm.
Majorly.
You know, stuff like this here, you know, reinforces our premise on that one right there. You know, they just helping themselves killing our women.
Right.
You know,
we're not gonna really penalize nobody. We're gonna be so scared to penalize people. No, fuck that, man. When the police do it, the police are guilty of kidnapping motherfuckers too. Don't let's not get it twisted. You know what I mean? They kidnap motherfuckers too. They do all sorts of atrocities. I know I can speak for on certain things. You know what I mean? For fact. But let's keep it 100. Everybody's afraid to put all these people up for as a form of accountability. You know, like whether or not they're gonna hold them accountable, whether they're afraid to penalize them. You know, somebody is allowing this to happen.
Oh yeah.
There's people enabling a crime to happen of such maliciousness or maliciousness. But there's always somebody. It's never just a one person thing. There's always someone enabling and either assisting, whether they knew it or not. And they have no soul either, no conscience either. Man, you know what I mean? Like, that's all I say. I go on about. I'm just really upset that shit gets you out.
Okay, well, let's look at an insane son of a bitch like Charles Manson. Okay, and you could pull this up. Let's see, 1969 Tate LaBianca murder case, Los Angeles County. Vincent Bugliosi was the assistant district attorney that prosecuted the case, and then I believe that Bugliosi had made a publication called Helter Skelter. Mm-hmm. And then from what I understand is that Charles Manson and I believe Brother Jay Dizzle had did a show on Charles Manson, you know, fuck Charles Manson. Yeah. Is because what Manson's thing was trying to do along with Linda Kasabian, Leslie Van Houten, Susan Atkins, and I'm trying to remember the other one. Okay, because the case was in 1969, the Tate LaBianca murders. Actress Sharon Tate was killed, Lena and Abigail Folger. And Manson, when he was interviewed, he was talking about that he was trying to create a race war, and he was trying to blame some of these murders on the Black Panther Party. So fuck Charles Manson is because, you know, he had made a statement is that, to paraphrase him, that niggas are so damn dumb, they still need a white man to tell them what to do. And he wanted to have the race war where the Panthers would come out or the black militants would come out, wipe out Whitey. And then they were so goddamn ignorant if they were successful that they would have to go to another white man, you know, to get proper direction. And he himself appointed himself as, you know, the one, you know, to do this direction of black folks. So fuck Charles Manson. You see what I mean? And Bugliosi, the assistant district attorney, had made the point of a particular weapon that was needed within about 2 years as the case had went on. It was because Bugliosi had went to go get the death penalty against Manson. But had Bugliosi would have had this particular weapon that somebody had found and turned it into the Van Nuys division of the LAPD, they in turn take the weapon, put it off in a goddamn locker room for 2.5 years. And Bugliosi even himself had said, I'm just paraphrasing, well, if I would have had the damn thing back then before the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the death penalty, I could have got this bastard executed.
Yep.
And he proved, and the funny part about it is, Brother Che, is how Bugliosi had proved the incompetence of the LAPD.
Yeah, somebody needs.
Right. And that there was a very high profile case, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that went down about 4 or 5 months before Fred Hampton was killed in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So 1969.
I'm sorry?
That was in 1969.
Yeah, right. August 1969. Yes. The address where one of the bodies was found at was 10050 Cielo Drive in Topanga Canyon.
Wow.
Which is a section of the city of Los Angeles, Topanga Canyon.
Yeah. That's where BLM bought that mansion.
Exactly. In Topanga Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then also, yeah, go ahead.
We got to move on to our next topic, and that is we have a Kamala Harris that's running for mayor.
Oh, yeah. Los Angeles, California. Yeah, I want to bring that up there. Thank you, Brother Che, for that, on the West Coast correspondent for Front Line Blacc News. Also, too, coming across information that I posted up on my wall earlier today in regard to this homeless situation, that there was a man in Los Angeles, a brother, who had built him a house right there on Hollywood Boulevard. Yes. And remember that Hollywood is a section of the city of Los Angeles, and it's not its own city. But however, West Hollywood is its own city, but that's beside the point. So the news had went out there.
Bill Shabaka.
Yes.
We're talking about the lady that's running for mayor here in the city of Denver. Right now.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. My bad. Okay. Dealing with let me know when you're ready for Los Angeles. Okay. Yeah. Mayor Denver. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, because we're approaching like almost 3 hours.
Yeah. So this article is from the Denver, right? And it says former Denver mayoral candidate Lisa Calderon is running for mayor again. She ran in 2019, and here she goes again. Just like we said, Shabaka, she was going to jump in at the last minute. And
right.
Here you go. Calderon finishing 3rd place in 2019 and now enters the race with more experience and stronger name recognition.
Okay.
Is it a long article?
No, it's pretty quick. Lisa Calderon announced she is once again running for mayor of Denver. In 2019, she finished in 3rd place with fewer than half the votes. Then incumbent Mayor Michael Hancock got. This time, however, she has campaign experience and stronger name recognition entering the race. When we reimagine Denver, we can transform how city government operates and is viewed by the public, Calderon said in a statement announcing her candidacy. We don't have to choose between affordable housing and open space, but instead invest in both. We can be a model city where small businesses thrive and workers are paid equitably. Calderon was born and raised in Denver and holds a doctorate in education. She is a professor at Regis University. Calderon has also has said she became more involved in politics following the incident of police brutality involving her son in 2005. Excuse me. She felt at the time that then City Councilman Hancock wasn't responding to community concerns about aggressive policing. Dr. Calderon, a Black Latina and fourth-generation Denverite, believes her extensive experience as a leader in the nonprofit, city government, and educational sectors are what sets her apart from the growing field of mayoral candidates, reads a section from her campaign announcement. After Calderon lost the 2019 race for mayor, she became City Councilwoman Candy Cedarbaca's chief of staff. She eventually left to run Emerge Colorado. Oh, we have a lot to say about that Emerge Colorado, but we're going to save it for a later date, which
All right.
and trains Democratic women to run for office. And she's a prominent leader of the group opposing development of the Park Hill Golf Course. Leslie Herod, who also is running for mayor, is an alum of Emerge. And back in December, Calderon told Denverite that she was thrilled Herod was considering a run for mayor. I'm still thrilled that we have dynamic Emerge Colorado women in both the Denver mayor's race and city council races, said Calderon. I'm not running against any particular person now that the incumbent will finally be gone. I'm running my race for a new vision of Denver based on my unique qualifications and experiences. Sure you are. Still,
And then
I got a little bit more to read. Still, Calderon's entrance into the race was a surprise to James Mejia, a city politics observer who worked in city government and ran for mayor in 2011. Calderon's candidacy hurts Leslie the most, said James Mejia, a former high-ranking city director and former mayoral candidate in 2011. I would say the one advantage Calderon has is having run before, said Mejia. Anyone having done it before, A, knows what they're in for, and B, knows the time and resource needed in order to get in that race. Calderon rose to prominence in part as an antagonist of Hancock. She is still in the middle of a federal lawsuit against Denver, filed in 2018, for counseling her jail reentry program contract when she was the director of community reentry program. She claims the cancellation was retaliation by Hancock for criticism she levied against the city, its safety administration, and the sheriff's office. According to the lawsuit, at a 2017 meeting, the mayor, while pointing at Ms. Calderon, stated that he was personally offended and stung by Ms. Calderon's criticisms of his and Executive Director of Public Safety Stephanie O'Malley's treatment of African American staff. In September 2019, a U.S. District Court judge dismissed the case, but an appeals court last year reinstated it.
I just want to know how she criticized us for being antagonistic.
Well,
she did it
right.
First. Like
right.
Isn't that like
Ain't that the pot
calling
calling the kettle black? Yes.
Yeah, once again, somebody pissing on your head telling you it's rain.
It's like, weren't you you're named Michael Hancock antagonistic type of individual, and you did all of that. So us just throwing a little mud in a fucking public chat forum, that was so bad. Or that is the most hypocritical nonsense I have ever heard in my life.
Right.
Yeah, Jesse, because it's getting late.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Chewbacca?
Okay, out of Los Angeles, like I said, and I put it up on my wall today. The man, who built the little home up there on Hollywood Boulevard, and he said, pretty much that he feels safe and secure. Then the city of Los Angeles, with his propaganda machine, is going out there telling the man a bunch of prepackaged bullshit about, well, he can get this program, that program, this, that, there, the other, and dealing with the unhoused neighbors. Brother Paris, that I always know that we cover all the time, out in Los Angeles, giving information on that. Okay, and I put a video or the news clip up on my wall on that, and I do believe I put it up on Chewbacca's Black Experiences page as well too. Check it out. It's interesting because the man, he does have skills, mechanical, electrical work that he does. They're saying is that he's got generators out there for his for his tiny home.
Chewbacca.
Yeah, we watched that.
His house is fabulous. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh y'all watched it? Oh, okay, good.
Right, you watch that shit, and the reporter actively called the T's on him.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And the T's gave him that ultimatum right there. But that was some fucked up shit. And then the news people running it, you could tell they're clearly privileged and clearly don't.
Oh yeah.
There.
Mm-hmm.
And after the journalist went over there and called the law.
Right.
I mean, the businesses weren't even bothered by him. They were actually thankful he was there.
Right.
So
exactly.
Show you what kind of world we live in, people. Where clean box. His shit was nicely put up. He had little plants around it. It was all spread nice and neat. People weren't even tripping.
Yeah.
They were just nice and neat. And the fact there to look out for the little businesses. These white people, man. White people are a trip.
Yeah, they are.
They really are.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they wanted to hate on him, and he was in Hollywood, on Hollywood. So they sent the Hollywood division of the LAPD out there on him because at first they thought he was stealing electricity because he had cables, away from his tiny home, from his tiny home. And if that man is living like that, he should have some electricity because in this day and age, man, electricity is like water. It's a basic human need and right.
But
you see what I mean?
A generator can run on 5 gallons of gas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Panhandled, or like you said, he has little jobs that he does.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't put gas in his little generator because I know for a fact generators can run on gasoline, or even if he's that smart, like he was doing, he probably found another way to make it.
Yeah,
right. But Lady Che, with the high ass cost of gas in LA County,
you're right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, the shit, people, is over $6 a fucking gallon.
Jesus.
I put $30 in. I put $30 in my fucking tank. You know what I'm saying? And some bitch barely got to a quarter of a tank.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I was trying to give them
$30 fucking dollars. And also too, since we're on Los Angeles, dude, let me crumb bum. Gavin Newsom, fuck you. I hope your ass gets thrown out of office. Okay, Karen Bass, you ain't got a chance in hell. Caruso's gonna win. He's a billionaire, and you up there on bullshit. Okay, so, and then too, and I think they got some assembly seats in California that's up. Yeah, the state assembly is, and the state senate. Yeah, the whole California state assembly is up for re-election.
And the LA City Council.
Yeah, and the Los Angeles City Council, you know what I mean? And De Leon and the other asshole who was up there, making racially charged remarks. From what I understand, they dropped out, you know what I mean? Because they ain't got a chance in hell. The homelessness situation is real bad. Sherman Oaks, California, there was an old dude who was homeless, living in front of not abandoned building, but a closed business. He's pissing and shitting out there on the sidewalk. People are mentioning it, to him and put him out there. The dude has got issues. So one place where he pisses and shits at in front of is a business. And so the owner comes out and says, look, man, you can't piss and shit here, man. You know what I'm saying? You've been living in this motherfucker, man, like about at least 6 months. You know, older gentleman, he's deranged, he can't see. So what old boy starts doing is start pissing and shitting in the bag and starts putting the piss and the shit on old boy's car who runs the bar near there. So yeah, so then what happens is they called LAPD. The motherfucker's definitely 5150, okay? So, but this was a white dude, and I noticed they didn't use no tasers. They didn't come out with no guns and stuff like that.
What's is the answer right there? You know,
Say what now?
if it's a white dude,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
they
yeah.
let them 6 months. He's doing like egregious shit, and they
Yeah,
let them.
right.
Yeah, that's because he's white.
Well, of course, that's my point. And the LAPD goes out there, treats him with the utmost of courtesy. You know, they didn't, beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go pull guns on him and kick him in the balls and leave him in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. So they go up there, they arrested his ass, and the charge against him was real marginal. I think what it was blocking a public sidewalk or something like that. So they're gonna take, yeah. So they're taking that motherfucker right down there to, I believe Sherman Oaks is in Van Nuys division of the LAPD. The court is right across the street from the station. So, he'll go to court. And who knows, maybe the county of Los Angeles says, well, this motherfucker's deranged. He's in a fucked up situation. Order this man some immediate emergency housing. And it ain't like LA ain't got plenty of housing. It's just these greedy ass landlords with these rents while these motherfuckers is fading. But they're not as bad as San Francisco. You see what I mean?
Well,
Okay.
they got a woman mayor in San Francisco. They got London Bridge.
Oh yeah, London Bridge. Yo, yeah. London Bridge is falling down. London Bridge is falling down. Yeah. CUNET does not have the black community's best interests at heart in the city of San Francisco. See, and the sad part about it is, and also too, Brother Terry, we're going to mention Jeff Fayard as well too. Is that in the itinerary?
Oh well, we've been mentioning him all night, but yeah, we can crumb bum on him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's what's happening there in the city of LA, with the homeless situation. Then there you got the one individual where the dude, throws piss and shit at a restaurant. He's emphasizing, well, these people got services, this, that, there, the other, blah, 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 blah. Look, unless they got a shelter somewhere where that man can go wash his ass, take a decent shit and piss. You see what I'm saying? Get some clean clothes, rest up for a few days, you see, then evaluate him. Let the man, humanize, let him wash his body, and if he's been pissing and shitting out there in public, like that, then yeah, he's in severe need of severe cleansing.
Yeah.
He probably needs to really breathe and air himself out from chafing and who knows what else.
Oh, exactly. Of course, you know what I mean. And then, of course, too, they showed another individual, who was homeless, mentally deranged, going through the gas station, talking shit, jacking motherfuckers up. Hey, give him some change. Look, just go beat his ass, and you'll cure him of that problem. And he too, was disheveled, definitely, mental issues are in, because I'm of the opinion is that the longest that a person is homeless, the more it attacks his psyche, his reasoning, because, his survival instinct is coming in, you see. And then he's probably been out there for so long. Well, why the fuck should he go get a job to make some other motherfucker rich? Like the concept with the gentleman, with the home up there in Hollywood. And then up in San Francisco, there was an individual who came on social media a few months back who simply made the statement, well, I don't want to pay no rent and all that. You know, I'll just go live off in a fucking tent. Okay, you see, something is wrong. And what I mean by something is wrong is that supposedly with Silicon Game Valley up there in San Mateo County, San Francisco County, and what have you, having all those trillions of dollars, there should not be not one goddamn homeless person in the city of San Francisco and the whole damn Bay Area.
Right.
No. These is trillionaires. And I mean, I'm talking about fuck Elon Musk, fuck some bitch over there at Facebook, fuck the dudes over there at the Tweety Bird, which is down there on 9th and Market, you know, because right around the corner from the Tweety Bird, I believe, Brother Che, I think I did a live feed from it about a year and a half ago. I did tag you in it. Well, I went to the front door of Tweety Bird, told Tweety Bird he ain't shit, then went around the corner. You saw some of the most abject of homelessness. Now, at the San Francisco Central Library, which is right across the street from Tweety Bird, you go into the bathroom in there, man, you got a million motherfuckers in there, man, washing their ass, washing their clothes, you know, stinking real bad. And all that social media money right there, folks. It should not be not one homeless person in San Francisco with all the wealth that comes through San Francisco County, San Mateo County, Santa Clara County, and Alameda County. And parts of Contra Costa County, yes, because what is that? I think they got Silicon Valley College up there in Contra Costa County.
Yep.
Yeah, right by one of the BART stations, and you might want to check the map on it. And I don't know if it's the Concord BART station or Pleasant Hill, but it's definitely all that region is about the coding, you know, making money off of it. And then, like I said, in my travels up through there, that you see all kind of groups of motherfuckers, a great deal of ethnic diversity, you know, people who work in Silicon Valley, except one problem.
What's that?
That our people only make up less than 3% of the workforce there in Silicon Game Valley.
Oh, hell no. But I got to move us on to our next topic, Chewbacca.
Yes, sir.
So we have a new police chief here in Denver. Ron Thomas was sworn in this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's him right there. I'm not going to play the video of him getting sworn in. But this article real quick. Denver has a new top cop. And we had a town hall meeting. I'm going to play that after I read the article.
Sure.
Denver has a new top cop at least until the mayor's administration changes next year. Chief Ron took an oath of office Tuesday morning from presiding judge Nicole Tardy in the Denver City and County building. City Council confirmed his appointment Monday. On the department as it grapples with a shortage of nearly 200 officers, increased response times to calls, and a rash of lawsuits over excessive force incidents.
Mm-hmm.
We all know the state of affairs with regards to the relationship between the community and the police department.
Yes, sir. Question. Question. Whatever happened with the case in the early millennium where the boy Paul Childs was shot and killed by the Denver Police Department, and he was only 15 years old, and at that time, and I was in Denver, I came across his mother because I saw that she was wearing a T-shirt saying, you know, Paul Childs, and I says, well, ma'am, I see you, you know, went to the protest, you know. She says, oh yeah, most definitely, you know, he was my son, and I just didn't know what to say.
Yeah, well, that was my childhood friend.
Oh man, condolences to you.
Thank you. But yeah, he is the reason why we have guidelines and protocol with the DPD, and I believe he's
Okay.
the Citizen Oversight Board as well to oversight the police and what they do. But currently, we don't have a independent monitor director.
Right.
Because he moved to LA to deal with the jails in LA. So we've been trying to fill that spot. A few months back, we screened some candidates and none of them passed the test. So that's still vacant. So I guess it'll be vacant until we get a new mayor, such as myself.
Right, exactly.
But I'm almost done with this article. Let me finish up this article, and then I got to play this video of me at this town hall.
Okay.
So we all know the state of affairs in relationship to the police and the community, but I believe we have a phenomenal individual who is dedicated to the department and equally dedicated to the community. Mayor Michael Hancock said. Thomas replaces Paul Payson, who officially stepped down as chief October 15th. It's October 30th now. He most recently was the department's patrol division chief and previously served as the commander of patrol districts 2 and 5 in the Internal Affairs Bureau. A graduate of Thomas Jefferson or TJ High School, Thomas came to the department in 1989. Hancock announced Thomas as his pick for Denver's next police chief when the news of Payson's retirement broke at the end of the summer. Thomas takes the job amid questions about whether Denver's next mayor, whom voters will choose in less than a year, will appoint a new police chief. Thomas said he will prioritize addressing crime, reducing response times, and addressing the current officer shortage by redistributing resources where possible to free up patrol officers. The department uses resources such as crash and property report technicians as alternatives to armed officers in low-level situations. Additionally, the city's Department of Public Health and Environment, or DDPHE, operates the support team assisted response, the STAR program, which sends pairs of mental health clinicians and paramedics to nonviolent situations for which a behavioral health response is appropriate. I want every individual who lives in the city to understand that the Denver Police Department works for them, Thomas said. Police departments often make the mistake of assuming they know what the residents they serve need, Thomas said, and that understanding what residents want is key to building trust between the department and the community.
Oh man, you guys are reciting that same but pre-packaged bullshit because the lapdog says the same shit all the time itself.
Yep.
And then, when you...
I got one more thing to say. In reality, I think we can learn a lot from listening to the community.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is from the Denver Gazette.
Okay.
They did an article on me back in May.
Okay. All righty. And then as it was proved out here on the West Coast in 1992, is that, the people got a voice, if you know what I mean. And I'm not, trying to incite any type of, urban unrest or anything like that. But, but when the citizens get upset of being brutalized by a police agency, when they get tired of having, their request and things ignored, so quite natural, of course, that's going to create some type of situation. Just like what happened, and as that we're familiar with Cat Brooks, out in the Bay Area of how she got rid of Greg Sir's ass, who was the police chief of the San Francisco Police Department, who was the chief, I believe, when Mario Woods was murdered by the San Francisco Police Department. Cop Mahler was the district attorney of San Francisco County at that time. And what had happened is that another incident happened after Mario Woods, where a young girl was shot by the police. This pissed off Cat. So Cat went over there to the San Francisco Police Commission, and she says to them, she says, no, you all need to fire this dude real soon, because she said, and I'm paraphrasing her, because as you know, Cat Brooks had shut down the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge, which cost the city of San Francisco quite a bit, plus the Bay Area as a whole, because you got all those trucks going around there, that's commerce, and you got the cargo containers over there in Oakland that need to be delivered. Okay, so they try to give her some prepackaged bullshit, and Cat, she says, if you don't get rid of this dude real soon, like as in today, not only will I shut down the Bay Bridge, I will shut down the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge at the same time.
Yep. Yeah, so I got to play this video real quick, Shabaka. So
sure.
Finish.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So this is the town hall meeting that we had at the Cleo Parker Robinson on Thursday. Yeah, I believe it was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. The Reimagining Police Task Force put this together. It was Alex Landell, Pastor T. Holmes, Dr. Robert Davis, and Pastor Ron. And in the middle was new Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas. So I'm gonna play this real quick. It's like 15 minutes. I don't think I'm gonna play the whole thing, but here we go.
And my grandfather, Dexter Landau, are both 25-year veterans in this district, District 6, District 4, and District 1. So this resonates very dearly to me. I know this is an important subject to our communities, and there's a lot of intersections that we need to discuss and understand in dealing with law enforcement. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce our panelists. Chief Ron Thomas, a long-time career Denver police officer, former commander out of District 5, and has a history of working with the community, much like you're seeing demonstrated this evening. So I'd like to open it up to Chief Thomas. Is there anything you'd like to say before we jump in?
I just want to say that honored to be here, honored to have been nominated recently by the mayor to be chief of police, honored to have been confirmed on consent by city council. And it just occurred to me as I sat here that there's a number of things that I just never imagined doing as a young man. I certainly never imagined one day being chief of police, never imagined speaking on the steps of the state capitol, which I've done, and actually never imagined being on stage here at the Parker Robinson Dance Studio. So I'm honored to be here and happy to engage.
Thank you for that. So the way this is going to flow this evening, we have a list of community developed questions that are directly related to law enforcement. My colleague, Dr. Robert Davis, he is going to co-facilitate this event with me this evening. Dr. Davis, is there anything you would like to say before we dive in?
Thank you so much. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to Chief Thomas for coming here. As I shared with you these conversations can be very difficult. We're going to try our best, of course, to be as respectful as possible in this conversation. But we do have some questions that we believe the community needs to have answered. So we speak some tough questions as we move along. We've already started receiving questions from people on Zoom, and of course, the people in the audience also have questions. Big T.
Brian Loma was asking me who that was.
Okay.
Perfect. And without further ado, I believe we are ready to dive in. So there will be a portion of the conversation after we get through these questions for the audience to
right here.
come up and ask questions of the chief themselves. So bear with us if you have questions. Try to hang on to them. We do have a lot of information that we want to try to run through. So just diving straight in. Chief Thomas, the Denver community has questions about the continuity in the chief of police position. Over the past 5 years, we've had 3 different chiefs. If appointed by the next administration, do you intend to serve beyond?
So the simple answer is yes. I do have every intention of serving as chief of police, not just beyond, not just through Mayor Hancock's term, but into the next administration. And I think I want to maybe level set the conversation a little bit. I mean, certainly we have had 3 different chiefs in the last 5 years, but I think if we reframe that, Chief Whitman served for 8 straight years. Chief White served for 5 years, and then Chief Mason for 4 years. And so the average term for a chief of police in the country is about 3 years. So we're actually doing a little bit better in terms of continuity. But I do understand the community's concern and certainly wondering what my level of commitment is, and certainly my level of commitment is at that. Thank you.
Thank you. The task force presented a comprehensive set of recommendations around the treatment of unhoused neighbors. What are your thoughts about
That is my term, by the way, unhoused neighbors.
Good question. So,
Lady Kate jumped on.
Where the link to join the chat forum?
I really hope that they
You can't even hear it, cuz.
Yeah, people kept saying they couldn't hear it, and I was like, "Why can't y'all hear it?" You know, this is a playback, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." But Lady Che joined us.
Let me actually clarify that the SET team actually works for the director of safety, so I actually have
You can't hear them.
Team.
You can't hear anything.
I do see though some value in their existence, and where I see that
Let's just interrupt them and let them know they can't hear them.
Task force has been very intentional about identifying opportunities where police officers don't need to engage with members of the public. In many I think this is I think the SET team in my mind is very similar to park rangers. Park rangers and unarmed force that enforce laws of the park. And so I see our relationship with the SET team is
What's he saying?
But again, I believe that their mission, and certainly my mission in working with them, is really important.
Thank you so much.
Now I think it's the headphone. The headphone, like they can hear shit.
A conversation we've had for a while. Since the creation of the discipline matrix, the Denver community has consistently watched, and I'm going to switch cameras and people here to see who's talking.
It's not on here. It's only 15 minutes. Because my phone died. Remember, I didn't bring my charger. I didn't bring my backup charger, so the phone completely died.
You can't hear him on the video. That was given to them, and that they're allowed to continue to serve in that capacity. How will you improve this process, or at least to be vocal and supportive regarding improvements that could and or need to be made to our accountability structure?
Well, once again, to kind of reset things, I don't recall that happening.
Okay.
Oh, what's the go to my page.
That was pretty engaging.
Let it check. Go to
Where?
my page. Go to my page.
I'm already there. I'm sitting at it. Well, turn the camera.
I can just dig in a little bit deeper there. What
No.
are, to the best of your recollection, what are the number of
Go to the task force.
Why don't you go to the task
Go to the task force page.
You said that you haven't seen that
I'm not playing the whole video.
Yeah,
It's only 15 minutes, so I'm playing.
Yeah, but there's no point in it.
It's for a different show, babe. We don't have time to do all that. And that video's not up yet. That's why I didn't go there. If you remember, he said that the video was wrong for a couple of days.
You're watching? This is it. No link.
And then if I can maybe expand on that a little bit, I was
It's on. I recorded.
And in my 2 years of service, I faced that 24, 25 officers. I walked out the door and none of
What happened?
What kind of improvements or changes will you make to the internal affairs bureau, or do you feel that there need?
I do feel that there need to be some changes. I feel like they need, there's a lot of workload there, there's a lot of important workload there. And so I have added to their investigative capacity, giving them the opportunity to do better, more thorough, quicker investigations. I think that's important. That there's resolve to these cases for both officers and the community much more quickly. So I've added to their.
I got a question.
And the other thing that I've done that I think will, one, add to their investigative capacity, but also I think be very informative to officers out on the street is I created a rotation where a brand new sergeant will spend 6 months in affairs, investigating cases, really kind of getting a sense of what officers do to get themselves in trouble, and that way they can go back out to the districts that they're assigned, and armed with that knowledge and understanding of what gets officers in trouble, and be a little more intentional about getting officers to work with them.
I'm millions upon millions of dollars it wasn't a settlement, this was because they lost the court case. And we actually have officers who remain in that lawsuit as having accused citizens. And yet we have not seen discipline of the officers that were involved in those protests that have cost the city. The frustration is the taxpayer pays the officer's salary, and then the taxpayer also pays when the officer is involved in abuse of citizens. So it's like we get double tax for police officers' misconduct. And so one of the questions that we have is, what are your plans to hold the officers accountable who were involved in 2020 protests, and then to continue on what is declared in the video?
So, first of all, the one officer who was named that lawsuit where the process was $12 million. 28 specific cases where there was no engagement by the complainants, so we were really not able to go any further because we were to move forward. We had 31 cases in which we were not able to identify the officers, 6 cases where there were non-DPD officers, and then 13 cases that were exonerated by evidence like evidence count. Again, understand that the city lost $12 million, taxpayers lost $12 million.
We're talking about the lawsuits that DPD and the city of Denver had to pay out in 2020 after George Floyd got killed.
You're right.
A whole lot explaining.
There's been very little as far as accountability.
Can y'all hear it? Because Lady Joe said she
It's
couldn't hear
important
it.
to clarify that much of that judgment was due to that jury's identification that it was battery practice to violate people's constitutional rights. What I'd rather concentrate on is how do we do better moving forward? So there's nothing that I can do about those cases that have already been adjudicated. I can certainly let people know that the inappropriate force, excessive force, violations of our crowd control manual, those things are absolutely. I can make that commitment to you all today, and I think that my officers already understand that. And I can make sure that any, first of all, I think that our training is much better. I think officers are much better equipped for those kinds of activities. I also think.
Okay. So that's all I was able to get on my phone. But that went on for like 2.5 hours. That Q&A.
Oh yeah, with that question and answer and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with that bullshit. You know what I mean? Because, you know, that's how they try to get your personal information off your phones and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but keep in mind, you do have some reputable firms out there, and they, you know, real good about, you know, keeping that information, under wraps.
Yeah. So we got 3 topics left. That is LeBron James cuts ties with the NFL team, the Cowboys, and Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps.
All right. Well, on LeBron James, looks like recently in regular season that the Lakers are 0-5, so he needs some help out there on the court. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he is doing something, okay. And what did you say LeBron was doing?
So LeBron James cut ties with the NFL team, the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay. All right. Glad that he did, because, you know, they were the ones that had that old saying when the NFL went on strike, you know, we can't have these niggas running the plantations.
And this is and Fox News a commentator told him to just shut up and dribble. So this article's from TMZ Sports, and it says LeBron James, I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore. Handling of the anthem protest ruined it for me. So LeBron James says that he is no longer in support of the Dallas Cowboys. The NBA superstar revealed he denounced his beloved team years ago over the organization's handling of the national anthem protests, the ones that Kaepernick started. LeBron was always a massive fan of America's team, not America's team. In fact, he even previously stated Jerry Jones offered him a contract to play for the boys during the 2011 NBA lockout. But in recent years, the Lakers icon suddenly started showing love for his hometown Cleveland Browns, which left fans wondering if he was still back in Dallas. In an Instagram live session on Thursday, LeBron explained that he is, in fact, done with the Cowboys, saying he was upset over the belief that players were told that they would lose their spot on the team if they joined Colin Kaepernick's movement and took a knee during the Star Spangled Banner. I had to sit down on the Cowboys, man, James told his business partner, Maverick Carter. It's just things that were going on when guys were kneeling and guys were having the freedom of speech and wanted to do it in a very peaceful manner. And I don't know if I'm going to play this video, but a lot of people are in the front office, and a lot of people that ran the organization was like, if you do that around here, then you will never play for this franchise again. I just didn't think think that was appropriate. Remember, Jones and the Cowboys knelt in solidarity before a Monday Night Football matchup back in 2017, but stood back once the anthem started playing. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones kneels routine before national anthem. It's the video of that on Twitter from the Hill. The moment came on the heels of President Donald Trump's call to fire any son of a bitch who took a knee for the anthem. But James seemingly didn't think that was enough. LeBron says he still has love for guys like C.D. Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Ezekiel Elliott, but makes it clear he's all in for the Browns now. So he's on Team Brown now. All right. Shabaka, are you still with me? Shabaka? Damn, Shabaka fell asleep too. Damn. The black cat. Shabaka.
Yeah.
Oh, you must have fell asleep on us.
Yeah. Yeah,
What-
it did nod out a little bit.
What's your thoughts on LeBron James cutting ties with the Cowboys?
Okay, well, I think that's great. I think it's beautiful. It's because the Dallas Cowboys, as you know, their management, has made some derogatory statements, about blacks in the past. Also, too, LeBron is one of the most highly paid and influential power forwards in the NBA in its history as well, too. And then he carries a lot of weight in Los Angeles. I have to give LeBron that. He's got a lot of influence here now. If only the Lakers can get rid of the damn goose egg off this year's record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're 0-5.
Wow.
Yeah, and in 40 years plus of me living here, man, I've never seen the records, the Lakers start off that lousy. That sounds like the Slippers.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean, the Clippers. Yeah. Yeah. Look like the shoes on the other foot. Get it? Yeah. You see. So the Clippers, they've been kicking ass in basketball. I have to give it to them. But LeBron, he's loved in Los Angeles, just like he was loved, when he was with Orlando and Cleveland. They say, wait a minute. Did LeBron ever play for Orlando?
I don't think he played for Orlando. I think he played for Cleveland.
Yeah, I know he played for Cleveland. Yeah, I know that for a fact because that's where he came from to the Lakers. Okay. And he's very popular in Los Angeles, just like Magic was in his heyday, just like Shaq was in his heyday, Kobe Bryant. Well, all that goes without saying in regard to Mr. Bryant. And even way back into the days of where they had Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor and Happy Harrison. Yeah, the Lakers, they will retire LeBron's number when he retires from the Lakers. It's my bet. It's because there would never be nobody wearing the jersey of 32, 33, or 34 again in Los Angeles. All three of those jerseys have been retired. That's Magic Johnson.
He played for the Heat.
Yeah. Who played for the Heat?
LeBron. He played for the Cavaliers from 2003, 2004, 2009 to 2010. The Heat 2010, 2011 to 2013, 2014. And the Cavaliers from 2014 to 2015 to 2017, 2018. And for the Lakers from 2018, 2019 to 2022, 2023.
Oh, okay. All right. So you must be approaching last year, his contract then here. Okay. All righty. But, they love LeBron James in Los Angeles, just like they loved him down there wherever he goes. You see, he's a top-notch player. Then from what I understand, LeBron spends $1 million a year with a therapist to keep him in shape.
Yeah, I believe it. I definitely.
Yeah, and that's why you will see those commercials of him, those little skits where LeBron versus Father Time. He's in his 20th season.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's in. I mean, in the whole NBA, he ain't played for the Lakers 20 years, as we all know, but he's in his 20th season.
Wow. Yeah, because he comes straight out of high school.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, because he's like in his 30s now, mid 30s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then Kobe Bryant, he got drafted straight out of high school.
Yep.
Although he was the son of NBA player Jelly Bean Bryant,
Oh, okay.
Well, because Kobe's dad used to play in the NBA.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna move us on.
Yes, sir.
Pass out on us. Okay, Lady Che. We're on
Mm-hmm.
our house neighbor news and our unhoused neighbor sweep. So we're down to the last two topics of the night, and that is
Okay.
unhoused neighbor news and unhoused neighbor sweeps. So
All right.
continue here in Denver, Colorado. Mayor Michael Hancock, or as I call him, Michael Hancoon, continues to usher out the sweeps. We're still on the sweeps list, so we get notified every week when there's a sweep. There were 2 sweeps this past week. Unfortunately, we were not able to make it to them. There's a concerted effort to sweep away our unhoused neighbors, out of sight, out of mind. They said years ago that we can do better. We're still waiting on them to do better. We tell them every week at City Council, when are you going to do better? And we just get crickets. So, that's the news on the sweeps. They're starting to issue out the money for the program that they're running to pay people that are unhoused in different increments. It's basically an experiment to see what they're going to do with the money. And to mainly women and transgender people, identifying people or whatever. And we're still waiting to hear the results of that study or the results of this program. We won't know really until 2023 what's going on with it. But that's the update on that. And then on our ballot, we have initiatives that are going to help our unhoused, or supposed to help our unhoused. But, they said the same thing with the marijuana money. It was supposed to help the kids. And I ain't figured out where the marijuana money going from 2012 with Amendment 64 when they legalized marijuana in the city and county of Denver. For recreational and medical use. And this past week, they had the budget hearing for the 2023 budget. In our general fund, we're going to have $1.6 billion. And guess how much of that is going to the DPD?
How much?
Over $600 million.
Damn.
So there's a desperate need for water stations, showers, laundry, bathrooms, trash removal, rec center passes, etc., etc. City is in the process of having budget hearings. The current Denver City Council had a public hearing last week. Me and Lady Che spoke against it. They're going to pass it on to hearing to add amendments. So this coming Monday, Halloween, there's a city council meeting, and they're going to be discussing more about the budget for the next 3 weeks. They're going to be having these budget discussions. I don't know if they're all going to be open to the public or have a public hearing, but they're having these meetings. On the budget, and out of that, only 200,000 or 200 million is going toward unhoused individuals, service providers that deal with our unhoused neighbors. So, the city has made it apparently clear where its priorities lay. And I said in the first message to the mayor documentary that came out in 2020, 2021, 2020, that a city's budget is a measure of its values. So this city values public safety and police more so than they do our unhoused neighbors. And they want to give them more money than what they gave them the last budget. So we're going to continue to highlight that here on Frontline Blacc News. Lady Che has woken up. So, Lady Che, what do you have to say on the Unhoused Neighbors sweeps and news?
All right. Well, he pretty much said it all. I do have to say this though. There's fencing everywhere. They removed some of it. People are sleeping in between boulders with little tarps and stuff covering. It's cold right now at night. And my big beef right now is with all this money raising that they're doing for the elections, that people are freezing, starving to death, and they can't get housed. Yet all this money is out there. This rapid gentrification is building upwards, but no one can get in it. They keep just dishing out money allegedly to these projects, and no one could get in. I find this to be like the biggest fraud ever, and I'm just really upset about it. I'm glad that we're finally. I'm glad that um, everything that we talk about for the last 2 years at city council, or last year, at least last year for me at city council, all this other stuff, they're finally putting some stuff in movement. And I keep trying to show them, like, I'm kind of glad about that, but then at the same time, it's like, look, this is part of the Paris stuff that Jesse wants to do, and yet it's happening without Jesse. Even though Jesse's made religiously, like, serious complaints every Monday at city council, and so I find it to be really fucking shitty that people are running with this stuff now and then put like actual numbers behind it. Anywho, I'm kind of done, so I've said my piece, and I don't know what Jesse's doing, but Jesus, really, what are you doing, Jesse?
I'm sharing House Keys Action Network. So House Keys Action Network is the new D-hole or whatever. So they keep us updated on what's happening with the unhoused neighbors in the city and county of Denver in regards to budget hearings, city council appearances, and stuff that is on the ballot as well. So thank y'all for tuning into episode.
Real quick, let me say something real fast. What bothers me about House Keys Action Network is that they were so MIA for a little bit, and they don't want to ever add us into anything. So we always gotta go looking for stuff when we ask repeatedly to be included.
Well,
no,
like
there's no well.
There is a well.
Intentionally not include us.
There is a well because I listened to my voicemail, and somebody from House Keys Action Network actually did call me
later, cuz,
and invited me to something. I didn't even finish listening to the whole voicemail, but they're starting to reach out. They're starting to. I wonder why, because the election is underway.
That they wouldn't support you anyway.
But either way, they're starting to reach out. I just want to let that be known.
I want to let the audience know that it's fucking hypocrisy. That I believe that we reached out, begging them for months, and all of a sudden, some bride calls and leaves a message, and you're just supposed to joke to it.
I'm just saying they're trying to reach out. I'm not a fan of House Keys Action Network because it's just a repeat of D-hole. Right. And we've already exposed D-hole for the racism and white supremacy that they administer. So the same thing is going on with Hands, and I've had numerous talks with Jerry about this, and we're gonna start. Team Paris is starting our own nonprofit, Positive Action Commitment for Social Change, and our focus is gonna be our Black unhoused neighbors.
So did Jerry. Jerry continuously goes over there. Like this is the problem with us, family. We're just doing this. This is the problem. Problem is they were so easily quick to forgive and go and try to help them now. When we try to reach out and help them, and they refused it. Every time we try to be of some sort of service to them, they can roll this beautiful beat footage back at least 8 months, and they denied us. And now all of a sudden they want to reach out. And what is Jesse supposed to do with that information? But hop to it and see what they want. Is that fair? Really? Is that fair to Team Paris? who try to reach out and had to go on their own recovery missions and then go help other people because we couldn't help, we couldn't work together because they didn't want to because they're racist.
That's why we got to start our own nonprofit. That's why we need to. That's why we need to start our own nonprofit. Like we already have a solution to the problem. We're starting our own nonprofit. I just said that.
I know, but
it's
I'm saying, what I'm saying, David, is that you even entertain the conversation of the voicemail. And I wouldn't even listen to that. I wouldn't even look at this shit anymore. You know why? It's because this is intentional. When we want to know something and we constantly reach out and they ignore us and we can't have access to what's going on in the world and we have to go exploring ourselves for like 6 months to figure out things or to bring the news to the people, and all of a sudden they're relevant, and so we have to listen to them. When you just remember, they tokenized both you and Jerry, stole Jerry's ideas, put you out, put us out, right? And did all this other shit on the back. It's the same people.
It is D-Hole. It's not the same organization. People. It's a different name, but the game remains the same.
It's the same people under a different name.
It's not the same people.
So
some of the same
people. Howard is not there.
Teresa is, but Anna's
Jerry's not there.
Jerry's not there anymore. Like I said, I've been talking to Jerry.
Like 2 days ago?
He's not there anymore.
All week?
At least a week.
Okay, at least
he's
a week.
Not there anymore.
So he's been there. How long has Dad's been up?
Hand's been up for like maybe 6 months.
6 months. You see my point, though?
Yes, I see your point.
Am I really wrong, family, for saying, save yourself the fucking trouble and leave these motherfuckers alone? Like, we don't have to do that. Yes, you could have started that. We could have done that. But don't you think we got enough to worry about right now? And now you want to do this? It's like, look. We're better off doing our own little self-investigation.
We are doing our own. Look, we bring y'all the news that you don't hear anywhere else. Mm-hmm. So we're already doing our investigative journalism. Like, that's what we do. So
involved with them again when they tokenize you.
Because they're the only ones that are supposedly doing anything for the Unhoused out here. Until we have our own nonprofit. They're not doing
nothing for the Unhoused, though.
They're doing shit for the white Unhoused. They're still Unhoused, though, but they're white. That's who they cater to. That's what we're saying. They're racist, white supremacists.
In that city, and you know it. No one get a sleeping
bag. Okay, look, they house like 13 people. Out of that 13 people, I asked them how many of them were black. They told me 6 were people of color, whatever the hell that means.
What does that mean?
So we already know what we're dealing with. Like,
I don't even know why you didn't change them, man. I would. See, that's the problem. Like me, I'll say no, and I'll stick with no, and there's no going back. Like, fuck you, Hands. You had your chance. And Brandy's not with it. Whether Jesse want to be with it or not, it's because he's forgiving. I'm not forgiving. What y'all did this whole summer, and you don't care that we reached out.
It has nothing to do with forgiving. I'm not forgiving them for shits. You act like I'm trying to join Hands. I'm just keeping tabs on what Hands is up to. Like, that's what we're supposed to do.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. This is real dysfunctional. Stop it.
No.
We need to end the show.
Yeah, let's end it. But I don't think we should do it. And I don't think we should agree to.
We're not agreeing to anything. I don't think we should
be looking into that when they don't really want to help.
We have to look into it, Brandy.
But they're not helping black people, and you know it.
We knew that with D-Hole.
That's
we still have to look into the shit.
It's the same team.
These are.
It doesn't matter what the name changes. It's the same people, and they're still racist.
Okay, Lady J. Okay, we know that. That's obvious. So we have a solution to the problem. The goal is to create our own nonprofit. Look, I got to bring you up to speed because you're not up to speed. But thank y'all for tuning in, Black family, to a brand new episode of the Front Line Blacc News. This is season 2, episode 32 of the Front Line Blacc News. Shabaka, do you have anything to close us out with?
Okay, no, just wish everybody to stay safe, and we'll keep you posted, what's happening here in Los Angeles.
Tomorrow, I got an announcement real quick. On Halloween, I'll be out patrolling the neighborhoods with the children, as the children go trick-or-treating with their families and whatnot. I'll be out running the streets, patrolling the neighborhoods, keeping everybody, well, looking out to keep everybody safe, it's not really, it's kind of important to me because it's a real dangerous year. Every year is dangerous. But there's gonna be, want to see kids outside and want to see people walking and during the holiday, doing the holiday thing. So I did a lot of thinking. I thought that it would be best if I'm outside and running the streets, in the neighborhoods that I like to patrol, not just mine, just to keep a lookout because you got a lot of bad things can happen. We do have unhoused neighbors sleeping on the streets. We have little children and women walking with their children or men walking with their children, and anything can happen. So I just thought that if you can patrol your neighborhoods, family should get out there and look out for your people too, just to keep everybody safe. I mean, all we got is each other. So,
Black Power. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Front Line Blacc News. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. In the meantime, make sure you check out our other platforms, the Revolutionary Agenda, which will more than likely be going on later on today, since it's now Sunday. And check out Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And stay black, stay dangerous. This is the year and decade of tangibles. Continue to demand something tangible for your vote.
And protect the women.
And protect the women and the children.
Right. And the men.
And of course the men.
Yes.
With that being said, we're out. Peace, love, light, reparations, and black empowerment.
All right. All right. Night from Los Angeles.
All right.
Okay.